What's happening? What's going on, everybody? How's everybody going? It's your dog, Toddy, checking in with a quick live scream on y'all. Yes, I said scream. Quick live scream, man. We won't be here too long. Uh, Welcome. I want to say thank you for everybody that's watching right now. Thank you for everybody who will watch the replay. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And I definitely thank you for it. And I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Now, also, let's do a commercial or two. As you come in, please wipe your feet at the mat and hit the like button for your dog. Wipe your feet. It's been raining in Georgia a whole lot, so it's a lot of mud out there. So please wipe your feet, hit that like button for your dog. Just go ahead and tap that like button because what happens when you hit that like button, a smaller channel like mine, when you hit that like button, it helps the videos get in the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? Algorithm. Everything based on the algorithm now. Everything is algorithm driven. This device right here, the smartphone, all algorithm driven. Your Instagram page, all about the algorithm. Your Facebook timeline, all about the algorithm. Your YouTube homepage, all about the algorithm. That nasty video website you like to go to, algorithm. You know what I'm saying? Algorithm. So hit that like for your dog. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like. Help me out a whole lot. I definitely do appreciate it, man. Also, happy holiday to everybody. Happy holiday. Um, be safe. Enjoy yourself. For those that don't necessarily celebrate the holiday, um, happy Tuesday to you. Whatever floats your boat, great for me. But enjoy yourself, eat good. You know what I'm saying? Drink a little something, something. Get with your cousins and smoke a little something, something. You know, and just enjoy your time, man. Enjoy yourself, enjoy your family, enjoy your loved ones. I'm sure most of us probably ain't got to work today or tomorrow, so don't make the most of it, man. Um, as as you get older in this world, and as a lot of us are starting to see right now, tomorrow isn't guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? So while you're here, appreciate those close to you, and live your best life. So I'm not trying to get too political, but it is what it is, man. Um, so let's see who we got coming in so far. We got my guy Winston Thorne in the building. How you doing tonight, bro? What's going on? I got my guy Eric Parker is in the building. What's going on with you, Eric? How's it going tonight? I got my bro Big Low Country Sports is in the building. What it do, Bo? How's it going, Big Low? Big Low said I hit that like button. Bo, appreciate it, Big Low. Thank you very much as always, brother. And y'all make sure to check out my dog Big Low Country also on YouTube. Just click on his profile. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to his channel. Show him some love and run the comments up, man. I got my guy False Start Falcon is in the building. What's happening with your false start? How's it going tonight, man? How's everybody doing? Yo, gonna start off talk about the University of Georgia Bulldogs. My favorite college football team. Them dogs. Talk about them dogs. My guy 330 is in a building. What's up with your three? What's happening? Yo, I'll happily tell y'all if you don't already know, my Bulldogs are the defending back to back national champion. Like your boy Drake say, back to back. So they defended. We're going for that this coming season, 2023, the Bulldogs. We're going for that Michael Jordan, that Scottie Pippen, that Dennis Rodman. We're going for that Shaq, that Kobe, that Rick Fox. We're going for that three-peat. So I think we're gonna make a strong title run. But what with high success comes critics, criticism, and a big microscope. With high success, once you climb that mountaintop, you get to the top, everybody want to see you come down. So I say that to say this: Kirby Smart is starting to come under fire. This what they telling me now. This what I seen and this what I read. They saying Kirby. I didn't say this now. This is what I'm telling y'all what I read. So don't say Todd say this. But they said Kirby is allowing those football players to get into trouble and he turning the cheek. They said Kirby turning the cheek. They said he allowing these UGA football players to get in a lot of trouble and there's no accountability with it. There was an article written in the AJC, Atlanta Journal-Constitution, for those who may not be aware of the abbreviation. And feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is the largest newspaper company in the state of Georgia. So they wrote a real big article about Kirby Smart. It either dropped earlier today or was yesterday, but it was very recent. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, they was giving Kirby the business. They was giving Kirby the business in that article. Of course, they touched on the situation with the wreck, and rest in peace to those that lost their life. That's very unfortunate. At this point, I really I don't really like to talk about it publicly. But of course, they touched on that, and they said it was like 11 incidents, 11 cases of reported violence against women, and the players are still on the team. 11 cases. Now, as I just told y'all, Georgia Bulldogs, that's my team, that's my squad, they're my dogs. But that's a lot of cases, man. Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you now, just because I'm a boy. Now, that's a lot of cases. They're saying Kirby just turning the other cheek. They're saying that there is a fixer in Athens. When the boys get in trouble, or they might get arrested, or they might about to get arrested. There's a fixer and they make a phone call. He come talk to detectives, or he come to the jail and he fix stuff. So there could be potentially, and I'm not going to even say there could, because then I'm being naive. I played football once at in a city that was football driven. So I know that there are things that happen that don't get reported, and that's all these football towns, basketball towns. That's the way it goes. But they're saying nothing is happening with all this stuff that's going on. There's no accountability with Kirby Smart. He's quiet. He's silent. He don't say much. They're even saying on the car accident thing that he didn't really have much to say. Now, this is a very striking contrast from the last University of Georgia coach, Mark Richt. Because Mark Richt was known for holding players accountable. There was also a rumor that during the Mark Richt era that the Athens Police, Clark Central Sheriff's Department, that they had it out for University of Georgia players. Now, I will be the first person to say I don't believe that, because a lot of law enforcement who works in that sheriff's office or sheriff's department or police department, just like anywhere else, the vast majority of those people are local. So they probably grew up from yay high being Georgia fans, room for the Bulldogs, watching Herschel, watching Garrison Hurst, watching Champ Bailey, Hines Ward. You get what I'm saying? So I don't believe that part of it. But during Mark Richt's time, you got in trouble. Mark Richt was going to sit you down. Point blank period. You got in trouble. Mark Richt was going to sit you down. You got in trouble with the law. Mark Richt was going to have a talk with you like, hey, son, you got to sit for 2 games, son. You got to sit for 3 games. You got to sit 4 games. Even during the Todd Gurley thing, the NCAA didn't suspend him. That was Mark Richt who suspended him, which I think was a 4-game suspension, if memory serves me correctly. But Mark Richt was real big on accountability. He was real big on running a civilized, upstanding football program. Now, I'm not saying that Kirby don't have those same values, but Kirby is a lot younger than Mark Richt. Kirby is a former Georgia Bulldog player, may I add. Kirby is a former Georgia Bulldog player, a lot younger, different eras. They was raised different eras, different times. So whereas Mark Richt was maybe a little more traditional in a Georgia sense, state of Georgia sense, Kirby is vastly different on how he handles things. He's a little more cool, laid back. Well, I ain't gonna say laid back, but more cool and more easy going with things of that nature. Mark Richt never used to cuss, didn't use no profanity when talking to his players. Y'all go on YouTube and pull up some of the Kirby Smart stuff that he said to his player. He cussing, he cussing. He cussing. That's part of his leadership style. He's gonna cuss. Cuss them out sometimes too. That's just their different coaching styles. Now, I gotta be honest. Love Mark Richt, but I did feel, and I was vocal about this, I did kind of feel like his coaching style was probably a little too, what's the correct word I want to use? It's probably a little too traditional to really key in and relate with these players of today. With these players of today. And how society has changed. Society is grown as hell at like 10 years old. These kids are grown as hell at 10. At 10, I wasn't as grown as these kids are at 10. Y'all know these kids grow up fast now. And a lot of that is because of society. Like when I was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I couldn't get on my phone and see the same stuff the kids can see now. But that's how fast society has moved and how society has grown. So I did feel like with today's 18, 19-year-old, I did feel like Kirby Smart related better, or he could relate better. And like I say, much younger, played at Georgia. So a lot of stuff that these players run into in Athens, Kirby can somewhat relate to it because he been there before. He been out drinking hard after a game with the fellas. So he can relate. I remember going to one of my good friends. His name is Brent Allen. I'm sure Brent won't mind me giving y'all his name. But I remember going to a Georgia game. Well, I remember going to Athens for the weekend. We went to a Georgia game. Trying to remember the year. It had to be around 98, maybe 99, 97, 98, 99, somewhere around there. And we all hopped in my car. We drove to Athens, right? And I'm talking about, man, like all the football players at that time. Champ Bailey was there. Greg Bright was there. Boss Bailey wasn't there yet, but he was there where they was living at because it was kind of already a given that he was going to come to Georgia to follow Champ, you know. But all the football players, man, like they had this like nice apartment. You know, I don't remember what it was called, but they weren't living where the regular students were living. And I'm talking about, man, they was going hard. They was going, I'm talking about alcohol. And of course, they didn't have to buy nothing. I didn't have to buy nothing. My money went no good. I ain't had no money, a lot of money to begin with. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had a lot of money to begin with. I might have came up though about a strong $48 in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't had much to begin with. But it was a lot of weed there. They were smoking. There was a lot of weed there. And of course, there's a lot of alcohol there. Whole lot of alcohol there. It was a lot of women there. A lot of women there. So it was they football players, but they still 18, 19, 20-year-old guys. Dudes, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. You know, and there was some other stuff. I didn't see then like outrageously illegal other than like smoking weed. But yeah, weed. Yeah. And they were doing it in the comfort of their home at the time. It ain't like we was riding around in cars smoking. And I do remember people coming by giving them money. But I'll give Champ Bailey some credit. Champ Bailey didn't partake in none of that. Champ had him and Champ had a forerun at the time. It was the same year, 97, 98, 98, 99. He had a forerun he was driving. They all the good players they had cars. But Champ wasn't doing no drinking, he wasn't doing no smoking. Most all the other players were. But you know, that's just teenage boys, you know, young men, you know. We're gonna bump our heads, we're gonna act crazy, we're gonna make a shitload of mistakes. And I feel like Kirby can handle today's 19-year-old better than Mark Rick could. But y'all check the article out, man. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on that. I was gonna read the article to y'all, but I know how boring that can be, like listening to somebody read an article. So you know, it's in the AJC. I'm sure it wouldn't take you a lot to find it, but read it. It's very detailed, man. Like they. I was kind of surprised, man. You know, maybe that was a Georgia Tech sports writer that wrote that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that was a Tech alumni trying to get us in trouble. But you know, they throwing a whole lot of dirt on Kirby, man. Throwing a whole lot of dirt on Kirby Smart. Let's see. What we got? Winston says, "Hey, bro, them dogs going down this year." Oh no, Winston, it ain't gonna happen, man. It ain't gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. The Dogs and the Braves are about to do again this year what they did in 2021. Watch for it. Watch for the hook. Jimmy Wayne, what's up, Jimmy? I ain't seen you in a minute, man. Said it's not Kirby. It's the guys who babysit the players. They're supposed to report to them what the players do. They sweep a lot of stuff under the rug. Kirby is the face, but I don't think people realize the team has close to 90 players that he can't do everything for. Yeah, and you make a good point there. And the gist of the article that I read is I think at the end of the day, they know that Kirby is the ultimate decision maker. And they were just pretty much saying when it was time for punishments and accountability to be handed out, Kirby like looking the other way. And they also mentioned in that article, like when Kirby first got a Georgia job, he got into some politics that would make it easier for him not to punish athletes who got into trouble. But yeah, go read the article, man. Yeah, y'all got to read. It's long, but it's a good article to read. Like I said, I would read it, but I don't want to bore y'all. Matty T is in the building. Says, "What up, Ty? It's been a while. What's happening with you, Matty T? It has been a while." Lisa's in the building. How's it going tonight, Lisa? Antiquated. Yes, thank you, Lisa. Perfect word. Antiquated. Thank you very much. You know, and of course, Lisa's super smart. Because I always tell y'all, like, I'm country. Uh, Middle Georgia, 478. It's all Georgia, but like our accent in Georgia is a lot thicker than Atlanta accent is. You know, we're in Middle Georgia. You know, North Georgia got certain kind of way they talk. Metro Atlanta got a certain way they talk. Middle Georgia got a certain way they talk, and South Georgia got a certain way they talk. And I'm sure it's kind of like that with a lot of different states. It's all a Georgia accent, but the twangs are different. So a lot of times when I can't be pronounced, when I'm not able to pronounce some of these players' names, Lisa will assist me. So thank you for the assist once again, Lisa. I do appreciate it. Facebook user, I see you kind of liking the night tour. I used to love hanging out at the hours. Yeah, man. Arsenio Hall show, man. You know, burning that midnight oil. You know, third shift. You know, we gotta come in and rep for the third shift or sometime, man. So that's what we doing. Um, my brother Robson Santana, man, I ain't seen you in a minute, dog. What's been going on with you? Yeah, long time. That's what you just said. How are you, my brother? Long time. Glad to see you talking Falcons sport. Yeah, man. You know I'm a big sports nerd, bro. You know how I go. Got me a little stick too, man. I ain't been puffing on it too much. Facebook user says, Tyler, what's going on, my friend? What's happening with your Facebook user? How's it going? How is it going? What's up with you? Travis in the building says, Big Dog, what it do? 478 in the building. Hey, you already know, baby. 478. My guy Billy Ray Fields is in the building. Says South Georgia 912. Back is bike, meaning I'll be bike. I got you. You right. Back is bike. Bike. And that's South Georgia and Florida. They don't say back, they say bike. And that's what I'm saying, man. Like, it's all a Georgia accent, but like the twangs are a little different, the pronunciation is a little bit different. Like, if you talk to like some people who are actually from the city of Atlanta, you hear them talk, okay, that person from Atlanta. You know, somebody from Middle Georgia, Macon and Warner Robins, Cochran, Hawkinsville, you hear them, oh, that country joker from goddamn Cochran somewhere. You know, and like some people from South Georgia, Valdosta, Albany, you hear them. Oh man, he got to be from South Georgia. Listen how he talk. But you know, South Georgia at the end of the day. But yeah, that's the news on Kirby, and also there was a tweet that I came across, y'all. Speaking of the Georgia Bulldogs, there was a tweet that I came across that caught my eye. You know, and the tweet was about Brock Bowers, right? So we'll look at that real quick. We'll look at the Brock Bowers tweet. I will read the tweet off to you real quickly. It says, and this is from NFL Ricky Watch. It says Brock Bowers is reportedly viewed as a better prospect than Kyle Pitts was coming out of college by many NFL scouts. And Pitts was the highest drafted tight end in NFL history, fourth overall. Well, it's, you ain't got to take but one gets to know who drafted him at four. One NFL scout reportedly believes Bowers is a more athletic version of George Kittle. Bowers is the only college tight end in the past 53 years to have 20 TD receptions through their first two seasons. The Bulldogs tight end is generational. Now, I ask you, is that the real unicorn, Brock Bowers? Did Did we crown Kyle too early? Is Brock Bowers gonna be the real unicorn, y'all? And again, I'm a Georgia fan, so of course I am biased. I'll admit my bias. I'm biased. I'm biased. I Brock Bowers, that's my dog. But when you look at Brock, I never seen a tight end that good in college, y'all. And again, that is my team. I watch them every Saturday when they play. So I watch them more than any other tight end. And y'all don't get mad at me. I'm not trying to throw no shade at Kyle. We got Kyle Pitts. That's who we rhyme with. That's who I'm rhyme with. But man, Brock Bowers, I'm trying not to exaggerate when I say this, but Kyle Pitts was he was named a unicorn. He was named a generational tight end. But I'm being real, y'all. When I watch Brock play, to me, Brock is far better than Kyle was at Florida. He's far better. Like, as a freshman, true freshman, like, again, I'm a Georgia fan, so I'm biased. Brock Bowers is like the best tight end in college as a freshman, y'all. So now, if I'm being a fanboy, y'all feel free to tell me this now. So Tyler, man, you being a fucking fanboy right now, dog. Feel free. Be honest with your dog. But when I watch Brock play, like, man, Brock is like way better than Kyle was in college, man. I mean, way better. And everything Kyle can do, it seems like to me Brock does better. Kyle might be faster, just pure speed. It ain't by a lot though, because Brock can go. But Brock Bowers not only is Brock as athletic or more athletic than Kyle, but Brock can actually block like a real tight end. He could block like a real tight end. Like I said, I watch Georgia every Saturday, man. So I watched a lot of Brock Bowers. And when it was time for Brock Bowers to get out and pull and hit the corner or hit the defensive end and block and pass protection or run blocking, Brock can block. I mean, damn good. Now, whether or not this could translate to the NFL, who knows? He could be the best thing smoking on Saturday and on Sunday he end up being the boss. Who knows? We won't know until about 3 years from now once he is in the league. But man, I'm telling y'all, bro. I remember Brock's freshman year, right? After like 2 or 3 games, I remember going on my Facebook. I was like, man, Brock Bowers is going to be the best tight end in college history. He's going to be his generation's Travis Kelce. And some people telling me, man, you tripping, bro. Like, man ain't played but a handful of games, dog. Like, what did you tell me? Like, man, I'm like, and I remember saying, like, I'm telling y'all, I'm just looking at this talent this kid got. I hadn't seen it like this before. I'm gonna have to try to dig up that Facebook post too, just so y'all can just think I ain't lying. I ain't. Well, you're like, man, Todd, you just making up stuff. No, I'm for real. I'm gonna try to see if I can dig up that Facebook post. But telling y'all, man. Let's see. Jimmy Wayne Hall says Bowers is way better than this. Not close. Jimmy Wayne Hall agree with me. Jim, I'm trying not to be like a total fanboy about it, man. Because I'm a Georgia fan and Kyle played for Florida, but like it's not even like that to me anymore because Kyle plays for Atlanta now. And like I say, man, Brock can be the better college player, and Kyle end up being a way better pro player. Because we ain't seen Brock Bowers play not one snap in the NFL. So he could potentially be a bust. You don't know until you get on that field. So nothing is given, everything is earned. But boy, I tell you the truth, man. Facebook user says, yeah, Brock is easily better than Pitts was a better NFL prospect. Somebody else agree with me. Somebody else agree with me. I'm telling y'all, man, that boy Brock Balls is dog. I'm talking about that dude is a dog, man. You know, pun intended, I guess, as well. That guy's a dog. Um, False Start says, you definitely naked for Brock. Hey, I'm trying to keep everything on False Start. I'm trying my best, man. You know, I got my I got a little juice in me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to keep everything going. I'm trying to at least keep my socks on. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to at least keep my socks on. But False Start, I'm telling you, dog, False Start. I never seen a tight end that good in college, bro. I haven't. Never seen a tight end that good in college. Eric says I want Brock Bowers on the team. I would love to have him too, but like I'm gonna be realistic, Eric. Shout out to you, Eric. I don't foresee no way of the Falcons getting Brock Bowers. I don't see no way that's happening. Because in my opinion, I really think Brock Bowers can be a top 5 pick. And we ain't gonna be that bad. And we sure better not trade up to go draft another tight end. So I don't see it happening. We already got Kyle Pitts, so that's gonna be our guy. But just touching on this, because like I said, I seen the tweet today, so I felt it would make so for some pretty good content to talk about, because y'all know we all thought that Kyle Pitts was like the real unicorn, but we're still waiting on that a little bit. Billy Ray says, I'm a Gator fan. Pitts was a beast at Florida athletically. Bowers is an all-around pure bred tight end. He can also block. Pitts still developing that trait. Yeah, Billy Ray. And Billy Ray just really reiterated what I was saying. Like, Brock is more of the total package when it comes to tight end. Athletic-wise, catching the ball, yards after catch, making people miss, running through people. He can do everything Kyle Pitts can catching the ball. And I'm here. Something else. I think Brock Bowers is a better route runner. Now, again, I'm looking at college. It's gonna be way different when Brock get into the NFL. But when it comes to blocking, oh man, way better blocker. Way better blocker. Jimmy Wayne says, "Was he though? I never understood." Okay, I think you might be talking about somebody. Was he though? I never understood the hype behind Pitts. I think Pitts benefited. Because Pitt's junior year was his breakout year, and that was the COVID year. And I think he was able to take advantage of that during that COVID year. Pitts was a rare prospect, and that's coming from Facebook user. When you say rare prospect, Facebook user, can you explain that to me if you don't mind? Facebook user said, I draft Brock over Pitts any day. I would too. I definitely would. False-star facts said Kyle Pitts is open on most of his plays. He can't throw the ball to himself. I won't take it that far, False-star, even though I understand what you are saying. There are a good amount of opportunities when Kyle does get open, and he just doesn't have maybe the adequate quarterback, or has not had an adequate quarterback yet, who could get him that ball. But I won't say most plays, even though I get what you're saying. Kyle Pitts still got to work on his route running. He really do. He got to work on running crisp routes, coming out his break. He got better a little bit better year 2, but Kyle he runs some real dusty routes. He runs some real dusty routes. So he got a lot to work on. And I think and I hope we can do better in finding him mismatches. Get him matched up against linebackers, because it's tough for him to beat pure cornerbacks, because they got speed. They got better footwork most times. They're just as agile. So it's really tough for him to beat cornerbacks. But Kyle Pitts still a youngin', but as a better college player, it's not close. Brock Brock better. And we're going to look at some stats since we're talking about this. Let's look at Kyle Pitts' stats, his 3 years in Florida. He only played 3 games his freshman year, but we're going to look at everything. In Florida, Kyle Pitts had 100 receptions in his entire career at Florida in 3 years. He had 1,492 receiving yards at Florida, and he averaged 14.9 yards per reception. He had a total of 18 touchdowns in 3 years at Florida. They never handed him the ball off, so he never ran the ball. But again, I'll give y'all that again. He had 100 total receptions in his career, 1,492 total yards, and 18 touchdowns. 3 years at Florida. Now let's go to Brock Bowers. 2 years so far at Georgia. Brock Bowers has 119 catches in 2 seasons. He has 1,824 receiving yards in 2 years at Georgia. 20 touchdowns in 2 years at Georgia. And he also has 165 rushing yards at Georgia, and 4 rushing touchdowns. So you already see through those stats who has the better number and who also is more versatile. There were plenty of times Georgia would run a jet sweep and let Brock Bowers run the ball. And when Brock Bowers played this year, I mean, he's going to increase that lead that he already has stat-wise right now. So really not close to me. But, Kyle is our guy. That's who we're going to ride with. Brock, I'm sure when Brock gets drafted, he's going to be playing for somebody else. It won't be the Falcons. Winston's Brock game is more related to Kittle and Kelsey. Pitt's athleticism is more than, and I think you got cut off there. Facebook says Brock got Mark Andrew vibe. Lisa Shepard says that was fun to keep his socks on. Yeah, I got to keep the socks on, man. I got to keep the socks on. False Star said I was getting butt naked in here for Brock, so I'm going to keep the socks on. Facebook user says Brock was low-key a better player than Pitts as a freshman. Facebook user says not even close. Facebook user, I'm trying not to go in total fanboy mode because I am a Georgia fan, man. So I got my biases, I got biases, but I'm just telling y'all, man, like the eyesight, what I seen, I'm just like, bro, this dude is phenomenal, man. Brock Bowers is a phenomenal athlete, phenomenal football player. Travis says Brock plays way bigger than his weight of 230. He does. He really does. Billy Ray said Pitts became a household name 2020 season. And the year my Gators thumped UGA, you had to throw that in there, Billy Ray. Come on, man. You had to throw that in there. Trash and Pitts' connection was comparable to Brady and Gronk. Yeah, they were cooking that year. And I really thought Trash was going to be a better NFL player than he's shown to be thus far. Billy Ray, I was campaigning for Trash on the Falcons. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, man, if we can get him 3rd, 4th, 5th round, let's go ahead and get him and develop him. But, he just like Kyle, both of them are still babies in the NFL. So he plays quarterback. He got plenty of time to get there. Plenty of time. Facebook user, I heard him talking about Bowers the other day on 92.9 The Game. They said if he wins another title, he should be considered the greatest player in school history. Bam. I would agree. 3 national titles? I would agree. He would take Stetson Bennett, would hold it for 1 year, and he'd have to get a baton to Brock. Man, he went through. Yeah, he without a doubt. Without a doubt. Let me say this. Y'all tell me now if I get in the fanboy mode, don't be shy to tell me like, Tyler, you're in fanboy mode. There you go with that bullshit. But if Brock Bowers wins 3 national championships, listen when I say this. If he wins 3, national championships. Forget the best player in school history. I'm going to start campaigning best football player in college history as a tight end. So I'm telling y'all now, if the Bulldogs win this year, that's the campaign I'm on. So go ahead and get ready to get aggravated by me. That's going to be my campaign. Especially if he plays like he's been played these first 2 years. Man. Facebook user says that's a reach. You gotta tell me what's a reach, Facebook user. But sometimes when you type, like I don't when I say something and you type it, I may say something else, so I don't always remember it. So let me know what you mean, please. Dave, what's up, bro? Says Bowers is much better in the open field than Pitts. Y'all, David said that. Like I said, I didn't want to go too over the top with it. David Stark said that, y'all. David Stark said, I agree with David, but I didn't say it. David said that, y'all. Even though I agree with him, I didn't say it. He said it, but I do agree with him. I do definitely agree with him. Let me see here. Tim Hensley in the building. What's up with you, Big Tim? Okay, so Tim is talking to somebody. False start Falcon says, I bet you want Stetson Bennett drunk ass to be our starter too, huh? No, false start. No, not at all. Not at all. See, one thing about me, false start, I love my Falcons. But I'm not one of them over the top. Excuse me. I love my Falcons and my Bulldogs. I meant to say Bulldogs, but I love them both. I'm just so used to saying I love my Falcons. It comes out sometimes without I don't even mean it to. But I love my Bulldogs, but I'm not one of them over the top Georgia fans. when they do a mock draft, 5 out of 7 of my players played for Georgia. I'm not one of them Georgia fans who feel like the Falcons must draft all Georgia players. I'm not like that. I'm not like that at all. I'm just telling you what I see with my eyes. Just looking at football player versus football player. I don't know if you're a Georgia fan, false start, but I'm telling you that Brock Bowers is that motherfucking deal, bro. If he played for Oklahoma, I come on here, I say the same thing. He that deal. Even though I didn't want us to draft Bijan this year, false start. I was in our fast group saying the same thing about Bijan when I seen him play. I just didn't like the positional value of drafting him at 8, but he here now some round with him. Bijan didn't play for Georgia. But I got the same kind of post in our Facebook group to my boy. We got it. Bijan Robinson, boy, this dude here. Boy, I ain't seen a running back like this in a minute. So that's what I meant with Brock Bowers, man. Like, bro, like, he's just motherfucker good, man. No, he great. He great. Brock Bowers is great. you know he great. False start when you got a University of Florida fan. Like that in a college realm, Florida and Georgia is Atlanta, New Orleans on the NFL side. So you got a Florida fan like, hey, bro, I can't even lie to you, dog. Brock Ball's that deal. That lets you know how good this cat is, man. But no, I didn't want Stetson Bennett. You never seen me say go draft Stetson Bennett. You never seen me write that or type that or nothing like that. I wanted Jalen Carter, another dominant player. No, I didn't want no Stetson. Shout out to Stetson, no big stat dog in the building. 2-time MVP on y'all asses. I just can't wait till I can just talk this kind of shit like this for the Falcons. You know what I'm saying? I can finally talk this shit about the Bulldogs. I'm waiting on the Falcons to I can just talk, you know. Because it does feel good when your football teams just give you all kind of bragging rights, and people just have to. They don't like it. They gotta respect it. So I'm waiting for the Falcons to get there, man. I'm waiting. I can't wait. I can't wait. Eric says, "What's Brock height? Dude looks Megatron out there." I'm gonna say he's at least 6'3", maybe 6'4" with cleats on. He gotta be at least 6'3" though. He gotta be. Facebook user says he's not better than like 10 UJ running backs. Champ Bailey. Tell me what you mean when you say that. I don't know if you're talking to me or maybe you responded to somebody. John Brooks is in the middle. What's happening with you, John? My dog, y'all make sure to click on John's profile and also show him some love. Give him a subscribe and run up the comments also on his YouTube channel. He made some fantastic content. Johnson, what's up, Tyler? What's cracking, bro? And I smashed that like. Thank you. And also everybody who's in here who's watching from YouTube and even Facebook. Y'all know we already talked about the algorithm. The algorithm. When y'all be watching them nasty websites, the algorithm. Make sure you hit the like button, man. Show your boy some love. You watch from YouTube, watching on Facebook, just hit the like button. I appreciate it, man. Even if you don't like the video, hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Just to show me a little love. Thank you. Bill Rice tied it down his boxes. Hey man, come on, man. I am putting it on thick, but I tell you, Billy Ray, I'm gonna keep my socks on, man. I'm keeping my socks on. I'm keeping my socks on. I ain't all the way butt naked yet. I still got my socks on. What's up, Tim? I'm doing great, bro. How's it going tonight? Okay, that's somebody talking back to Tim. David says Bowers is also projected top 5 in next year. David, they think I'm exaggerating, bro. They think I'm exaggerating. Like I watched George every Saturday, so I feel like I know when we got exceptional talent. You know, like when Gurley was coming out, I was like, boy, this Todd Gurley, bro. Ooh. I don't big up every Georgia player like that. I trust me, I know we got some Georgia Bulldog fans like that. Oh man, drafted Georgia. No, I'm not one of them players. But when I see an exceptional talent and I'm already familiar with the player, yeah. 6'4", 230. Johnson tied. I hope the Georgia 3-piece. I hope so too. I hope so as well. And also, y'all, because I know it's the Falcons channel, so we're gonna move the conversation up. But Brock Bowers, for those who are not familiar, go do your research, dog. That's a bad man. That is a bad man. Bad man. Lisa, the Aints might as well log off when the Falcons finally get one. I'm bringing Dak. Oh, I'm going to have so much smoke for them. Oh, boy. And I know a lot of people who are New Orleans fans, who are good friends of mine, but boy, man, boy. Oh, I cannot wait. Can't wait. False Start says, not a college fan, bro, but I respect your opinion about it. Okay. All right. So that explains the False Start. But you are a knowledgeable football fan. So whenever you have an opportunity, just go look at this film, bro. And you go say, boy, that goddamn Titan went line, boy. That good hell. But yeah, go check out this film when you get a moment, man. Just check out the film. Let's see. Lisa says, my Falcons friend met Gurley today on the cruise. He sent me. Oh, that's dope. That's dope. I know I'm bigging up Brock Bowers, but Todd Gurley is my favorite college football player of all time. Huge Todd Gurley fan in college, bro. Huge Todd Gurley fan. So I was excited when we got him in Atlanta, but we got him on a bomb knee. Jimmy says Brock is a game record. Dude is literally the next Kelsey. You can't double him. And the next level, he's a plug and play. You're right. The drop off after him next year at the tight end is very big. Yeah, so we need to go ahead and get his 3-peat while we can. Because we're gonna lose some talent after this year. But as happens, man, you gotta just keep reloading. Gotta keep reloading. John says, Ty, I hope toothpaste billboard Bijan balls out, bro, and his billboard self. Okay, so he must have a billboard. I haven't seen it yet. I think Bijan is gonna do very well, man. His rookie year, I think he's gonna do extremely well. David says, I will be insufferable in the Falcons. Man, me and you both, bro. Me and you both. So what we're gonna do, y'all? I'm about to bring in my dog in here. One of my tag team partners on him. I'm bringing him in here. My guy Winston Thorne. I'm gonna bring him in here. Let's see. Lisa says my friend was wearing a Falcon shirt when he met Gurley too. Oh, perfect timing, perfect math. Facebook user says, "What up, bro? Happy 4th July to you as well." John says, "I want Bowers." Yeah, we're gonna move to our next topic real quick, y'all. And then we're gonna wrap it up and get out of here. we're gonna talk about and for those of you, because I know a lot of you are in the Atlanta Bird Gang group, so y'all see the topics we talk about. A lot of these topics, just so y'all know, those of you who might not be in our Facebook group, a lot of these topics come from our Facebook group. Things that we just sit there and talk about in our Facebook group, we debate back and forth. And a lot of times, what we'll do on this channel is we'll bring it to YouTube and have a conversational dialogue about it. And what we're about to talk about now is one of those topics right now. And that was what we have been talking about a lot today. Hold on, let me take this off the screen. My bad, y'all. What one of those what we've been talking about today. Now, there is Julio Jones. Let's just go ahead and get to the next topic. Julio Jones. Um, and y'all got to tell us this now. Don't just agree with me because or us because we on camera. But Julio Jones, what we've been debating on today and maybe yesterday as well, like was Julio overrated or did he have a underwhelming career? And also is Julio the undisputed greatest Falcon wide receiver in history? You know, and my tag team partner Winston, he hit me. He said, "Hey man, like, bro, we gotta do a show on this." You know what I'm saying? So
Have to,
I'm gonna
have
set
to.
up at this point. I'm gonna let Winston take over. You got the floor, Winston.
Hey, first thing first, what's going on, Tad?
What's happening, bro?
What's going on? Everybody that's sitting and watching, you know what I'm saying? Love. Big ups to the Atlanta Bird Gang, Facebook group and YouTube channel. All up. Hey man, there's no way possible anybody can sit there and say and and Tyler, like your hero outside of Devontae Freeman is Roddy White.
Actually, Roddy
There's
first.
yeah, I know, but we we always talk about Goat Freeman, but
Oh, goat himself, boy. Go ahead, my
it's
bad.
not it's not possible for somebody to sit there and say that Julio Jones is not the best receiver that the Atlanta Falcons had. And they can sit there and say Andre Rison is. That makes no sense possible. All right. So let me break down the number. Let me break down the number. Andre Rison had he played for 5 years with Atlanta. Had like I don't know, close to 6,000 yards. It's more like 5,600. All right. Had 54 touchdowns, I want to say, with the Falcons. All right. You have Roddy White that went for over 10,000 yards and 63 touchdowns. You got Julio Jones that went over 10,000 too and had 64 touchdowns. Well, he didn't have 64 touchdowns in his Falcon career, but it's not that far off of it. So how did that make sense? There's somebody that was electric for 5 years be the best receiver in a franchise history when somebody to put in X amount of more years than that. That doesn't make sense.
Right.
That literally doesn't make sense. That's that's literally being a fan of a person and not putting in the body of work. When you have I put it like this, when it all boils down and then you have to that player has to go up against other Hall of Famers to get into the Hall of Fame. You can skew the numbers as much as you want. You can't do it. Numbers don't lie. That's what you're based on. You are based on your numbers, your dominance in your era.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That goes to like the whole LeBron over Jordan situation. All right, like Andre Rison, I put it to you like that. If Andre Rison was a point guard, Andre Rison will only be able to cover one, two, maybe three. Julio Jones could cover one, two, three, four, five. His abilities are more than what you have, and he produced that and he showed that. You cannot sit there and make. You cannot sit there and take a 5 year stint and tack it on along with this a 10 year stint. It
Right.
doesn't make sense.
Something
It
don't really
doesn't make
happen.
sense. Yeah,
Right.
like if somebody I put it like this, if you go to work every day and you had a great 5 years, but then somebody else that had a great 10 years, and then you wonder why that person, the manager, make it make sense.
Let me read this comment to you, Winston. This from our boy Jimmy Wayne Hall. What's up, Jimmy? Says Julio was underwhelming and hate me, but Sherrod Roddy White was our best wide receiver we had. Jimmy Wayne Hall, brother, just so we can have a balanced show. If you can, click on the link and come tell us why, man. You know what I'm saying? You know how we
Come
do.
on in.
You know how we do. Come on in and tell us why, Jimmy, because it'll be a whole lot better if we can. I got my dog Mark in the building now. You still with us, Mark? Well, he stepped away. So go ahead, and finish up.
No, what's going on, Mark?
Oh, hey, what's up, fellas? Hey, I didn't even know I was in. I didn't even know I was in here. But salute to you all. Happy four.
Happy fourth,
Um,
bro.
I mean, as y'all see, man, I got my Julio on, but one thing I also still got on it is the tag, and
Oh,
and the thing was,
you about to go to the store tomorrow?
I've been ready to put it back since I bought it.
Yeah,
But no,
you about to go to the store tomorrow and get some extra on 4th of July money.
that's what I'm saying. Shoot, I gotta get some bottles, get some ribs. But nah, man, like as funny as that it is, I think there is no debate. Julio was our best wide receiver. To me, it's a close second with Roddy, potentially.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Yes, sir.
and even Jimmy, Jimmy saying he was underwhelming. I can agree to that. And just because I know me and Toddy, we talked about this, I think last week. But the one thing that hurt Julio with his last couple of years was how he handled his contract and how he managed himself throughout games. He would get a
But all
nice
right,
40 at,
let, let me hold you up for a second.
I'm listening.
You can't sit there and take the fandom into consideration over what he's doing on the field. So his
But see,
contract and how he handled his contract, push that to the side. What did he do on the field?
no, and I agree, and that's the point I was getting to. You Julio Jones, you really one of the baddest boys in the league. At one point, it was him and AB going at it. For who was the best wide receiver. And again, my thing was to me, it's not the fandom. It's about you. It's how you handle your contract, and then the following seasons, you make a 15-yard catch. You coming off the field. AB, you was arguably the best wide receiver in the league, and you competing against AB. AB was playing every snap, bro. Every snap, and Julio was taking snaps off. And to me, I think that's why maybe Jimmy had that comment. Um, when he stated, he was underwhelming. But I mean, to answer the Facebook user's question, I mean, Julio was different, man. There wasn't too many wide receivers with 300-yard games.
Exactly. Exactly.
It, it wasn't.
Just off of what you said, Julio was different.
Yeah,
That's enough right there.
there weren't people that
Like
had
you can say
300-yard.
Andre Rison was good. You can say Roddy White was great.
Right.
Julio was different. He was an alien. So when you sit there and you those descriptive terms upon a player, that's it.
Yeah, it really shouldn't be a debate, honestly, because Julio was on pace to be one of the best wide receivers ever. So, I mean,
Hey,
if,
hey
if you
brother,
in that conversation, I mean, you got to be. It's not like the Falcons have a rich history of wide receivers. You know, it's not like it's
I'm
to me. It's not a debate.
I think Mark. I
I
think we
wouldn't
gotta. I think we gotta. I really think we probably do got a pretty respectable.
decent. Yeah,
Yeah, it's respectable for
that's
wide
exactly what
receiver.
I was going to say. Like we put it like that. We're not known for having a lot of top notch wide receivers, but we definitely had an above average receiver. I can't say core because core is for a
History,
season.
receiving
So
history.
yeah, history, receiving history.
That's
We
probably.
definitely had an above average
I would.
receiving history
I would say historically, that's probably our strongest position group. Historically,
Wide receiver.
by far.
See, I
By
feel like we
far.
had a lot of fan favorites. Like I think we had like when you think of like the Brian Finnerans of the world, he's a solid ass wide receiver. But is he going to be considered one of the top wide receivers in the league?
no.
So
No,
I
I
feel like
mean,
we had
but
a lot
like
of, I
Brian
think we had a lot of
Finneran would
fan.
never be in the conversation. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like
You don't think
when you
so?
think like when you look at top three fat top four Falcon receivers, well top three, you got Julio, Ryder, and Andre Rising in that order. And I mean that's literally how it pans out. Andre Rising had what
Hold on.
five.
I'm sorry, Winston. Just a moment, Jim. I think you got some background fuzzy noise. Do y'all hear it or just me?
Yeah, it was something
Yeah,
going on.
I hear it. Jimmy sound like he over the goddamn making the smoothie.
Yeah, it do sound like a ninja smoothie maker. It's not doing it anymore. So whatever you was doing didn't work. But go ahead, Winston.
Jimmy
I'm
got
sorry.
the Ninja Plus
Right.
20 2024 model.
Go ahead and finish your point, Winston. My bad.
No, you good. But like when you look at it, all right, receiver history in Atlanta Falcon, Julio number one, Ryder number two, and then Andre Rising number three. And it's crazy that I'm not gonna negate what Rising did. I'm not gonna negate what he did. But you gotta look at it. Rising on the play for us for 5 years. In those 5 years, he had almost 6,000 yards. All right.
Mm.
Julio was putting up 1,400 yards on a consistent basis. So if you do the math, in 4 years, almost he surpassed what Rising did in his whole Falcon career.
Yeah, no,
How
it's not
can
even
he
close.
be? And then look at Ryder. Ryder had over 10,000 yards too, with 63 touchdowns. Like you can't. You is no way possible. I understand people being fans of players.
Right.
I'm a fan of players too. I like the players that I like. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I love the brand over the players, so I can see it objectively. So when I
But but
look at it objectively, what's going on,
but
brother?
but let me ask y'all this. Um, 'Cause I know just off the last comment, y'all think wide receiver was our deepest group as a franchise, or running backs or offensive line? Cause I think when I think of running backs, I think we've had some backs, and now we just added another bad boy.
I mean,
But it seems like every 2 3 years we got damn near one of the best backs, real low key like.
I'm still gonna say wide receiver, bro.
Mm,
When,
that's
when you go
interesting.
back to well, starting most recently, we don't know what Drake and Kyle gonna do, but you got Julio, you got Roddy, you got Terrence Mathis. I'll even throw Calvin Ridley in there. He had an All Pro season. We just know how his story ended.
He's a
Um,
bad boy.
you got guys like
Hey, I'm
per,
gonna be honest. Really would have been something serious.
yeah,
Really would have been something serious if he had stayed here in Atlanta and he hadn't betted against us.
yeah,
That's what got him out the door. He betted
he,
he betted on our team. That's
even
what got him out the door.
even guys like
But
Alfred Jenkins too, man. So I'm gonna say wide receiver. And let's welcome Jimmy in real quick because Jimmy one gave us that comment. So we need Jimmy here to balance out the debate. So Jimmy,
Right.
you got the floor, bro.
Big
What's
Jimmy, what's going on, baby?
What's going on, man?
And
bro?
So I know I'm gonna catch
then
hell for this,
go
but
for it, brother.
the reason I say Roddy White was the better receiver is because Roddy endured sorry quarterbacks and good quarterbacks both in Atlanta. If you
Right.
really look at what happened at the end of Roddy's career, Roddy didn't voluntarily get put off of the Falcons. Kyle Shanahan literally phased him out of the offense when he still was able to produce. So if you really think about it, if you look at Matt Ryan's MVP season, right? Yes, Julio had the yards, but there's one thing that Julio always failed to do, and everybody always harps on this. You can always put up yardage. Where were the touchdowns? Because if
Very
anything,
true.
that year, Matt Ryan should have had at least 50 to 55 touchdowns because you had Julio that was the best wide receiver in the league. But
But
Look,
he
we
only
got to
put up
remember
double
though.
digit touchdowns once in his career.
But you
Never
got,
let,
you got to
again.
let,
remember
That was his second
let,
year in
these.
the league.
let, let, let me ask you this, because you watch the game the way I do, right? So, how many times have Matt Ryan sat there and thrown a lame ass duck out there that Julio had to go track down between two defenders and he get spun around?
I got a rebuttal for that. How many times
So
do you
he has to,
also see Matt Ryan throw it on a dime to every other receiver outside of Julio? He was able to
because
throw on a
every other
dime
receiver is
to a
not as
short
fast as
Taylor
Julio.
Gabriel.
That's the biggest thing. Every
Right.
other receiver is not as fast as Julio. Look. I, I see a lot of fans not really respecting Julio's speed. All right, so Julio ran a 4.3 in the 40 at the combine with a broken foot. So Julio's legit speed is about a 4.26.
Oh yeah, he was a freak. He was a
Matt
freak.
don't have the arm to keep up with his speed. That's why he always underthrew him. That's how that
But
goes.
but it's funny how like,
That's literally why that was happening. All right, so like put it like that. Well, no, I would put him more like a 4.24. Taylor Gabriel ran a what, like a 4.28, 4.31, somewhere in that neighborhood. Julio was faster than him and bigger than him, so he's gonna get open faster than Gabriel can get open and shake up whoever guarding him. So that goes into the timing. That's why Matt could never really hit him in stride unless it was a somewhere within a 25 yards and in type deal. Anything beyond that, Matt could never catch his speed.
Okay, Mark, come in. I see you got something on your face. Go ahead.
no, I mean it was a couple of different points. It was a couple of different things. You know, Jimmy was talking about the touchdowns that year. You got to remember, Julio was a decoy a lot that season. He was taking 2 or 3 people with him that leaves Turbo wide open.
Wait, Mark. Repeat that again for me.
One more
Yeah,
time for the fans in the back.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, it was to the point where I think even Matt Ryan spoke on it, but it's just like y'all want me to throw them in triple coverage. Like he's doing his job. His job is to take the corner, the safety, the linebacker. He's taking so much attention that it's making people wide open, and I feel like that's almost
Everybody
where
got the one-on-one.
everyone got the one-on-one. You know, the clear matchups. It's a clear read. Okay, boom, 3 people over there. Turbo got a straight. All you gotta do is run in a straight line. You know, so that's why the touchdowns were spread out so much that year. So I agree. We want Julio to have more, and that's when it comes to Winston's comment. We can't defend Matt too much in that light though. Matt owes Julio at least 10 touchdowns. Like there was times when Julio was wide open, and you can't be mad at it because okay, I'll take the 50-yard reception, but it should have been a 70-yard touchdown. Like like we being honest. So I'm not going to defend Matt because there was too many throws when Julio should have been walking in the end zone. But you know, we'll
Hey,
take the
brother. I thought yesterday was Sunday, but
Okay. Hold on a second. Because even though I'm on one side of this argument, I got to mediate. So, Mark, this is what these people would this is what they would tell you when you say something like that. Well, Mark, what about all the plays that Matt did? Throw him the ball and he just dropped the damn ball. Namely Carolina, wide open. So when he wasn't getting the ball, he dropped it.
Absolutely, and but I think it's a balance, and I think that's something, and I think that's the main thing I was trying to kind of say here and there was I think we gained to appreciate the underthrows when we just saw past season Marcus Mariota overthrowing 6'4", he overthrowing Pitts, it's wide open, he overthrowing, so it's like you kind of appreciate the completion, like when it's like all right, I'll take the 50-yard catch over a 0-yard pass attempt, like because you overthrew a 6'4" receiver. So I know we talked about Matt last week and how he was undervalued. We talked about Roddy, we talked about Julio. You know, I think it's so many factors. As fans, we know it. We know the truth. But I do agree with Winston. I mean, not Winston, Jimmy, when he said he was underwhelming because at the end of the day, there was still a head scratcher how Julio didn't get in the end zone as much as he should have. To be that type of player, you find ways, bro. Like whether it's coaching or I don't know what it was, but I think that does kind of hurt his overall his success is that he just could not get
legacy. Hey,
hold on a second. So go ahead, Jimmy. I saw you.
I won't say that it hurt his legacy because I mean, at the end of the day, Julio's legacy is still gonna be that he's one of the greatest Falcons of all time. Like I don't want to say that his legacy is ever gonna be tarnished, but if you look at what he could have been, barring the injuries, barring the contract disputes. Because I do want to say, if he had issues with the ball being underthrown, overthrown, he was the one that signed that extension for a 3-year, $66 million deal. So he had a chance to leave and go get a better talented quarterback if he wanted to. He decided to stick it out with Atlanta. So like he was saying, it's give and take. I mean, he had his chances, but I think in the end, he wanted to be in Atlanta because he saw Atlanta as his best chance to win a Super Bowl in the end.
So Jimmy, so with that said, you're saying that Roddy was a better wide receiver over Julio because he had to endure bad and good quarterbacks. And I'll say this to you. I feel like Roddy really only endured bad quarterbacks 1 year. And that was the transition year for Michael Vick.
Exactly.
It was one.
Now I will give
putting it under like he's DeAndre Hopkins.
I will say this.
DeAndre Hopkins situation.
Let me say this real quick. I will say this. Now, I always try to be unbiased and transparent. in these conversations. And I will say this. If you want to put Michael Vick on that list, I really want to argue it. And I'm not saying that I thought Vick was a bad quarterback, but I think Vick was a terrible leader for a young puppy coming to Atlanta. And I think his bad habits trickled down to Roddy. So if you want to put that in there, I'll give you a little leeway on that from that perspective. But I think 85% of Roddy's career he played with Matt Ryan. And we all, no matter what side of the street you are, if you think he's good, very good, or elite, he was, he was up there. He was top 10 most of his career, sometimes top 5. And you really can't ask for much more than that, in the NFL.
Yeah, like with Roddy White for at least a 4-year stretch was arguably within the top 5 conversation.
Definitely.
Julio for a 7 or 8 year stretch was in the top 1 or 2 conversation. 3 at least. There's levels to this. You cannot sit there and put somebody that was in the top 5 or top 10 with somebody that was in the top 1, 2, or 3. Doesn't
Great
make
point.
sense. Like put it like this. Like, all right, I could go to McDonald's. That's top 5. I can go to McDonald's, eat good. I'm eating good. You know what I'm saying? I spend my little money, whatever. But I can go to Roof Chris or some at the Bellagio or some upscale.
Right.
That's top 1, 2, or 3.
True.
That's entirely different. There's levels to it.
Right. All right.
So you can like you
Roddy was
can't
at
you
McDonald's,
you
though.
literally cannot sit there and say that, hey, this is whatever. Like, all right, Outback Steakhouse, great. That's great. Serve the purpose. It served the purpose. I know what I'm gonna get. It's gonna be decent. Woo de woo. That's Matt Ryan. To be honest, that's Matt Ryan. Outback Steakhouse.
Outback.
I know for a fact that I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna eat good. I'm not gonna eat great, but I'm gonna eat good. It's gonna serve the purpose. And then I can go to Benihana. I know I'm gonna eat great.
Yeah.
That's like
Better be.
Patrick Mahomes. See what I'm saying? There's levels to it. You cannot put those. You can't put those in the same group. Then don't get me wrong. Roddy White was great for us, and he was great for a 3-year span for the league. He was great. Julio was great for the league for a 5-6 year span.
Yeah. About 6 strong years. 6 strong.
Yeah.
You see
It
what I'm
would it
saying?
would have been 7 if he didn't get hurt that 1 year early in his career.
If he hadn't got hurt,
Yeah.
he was great for the league. That's something different. You cannot sit there and say, Roddy Wright had what, like 3 years where he was in the, like that top 5 category, and we loved it for being Falcon fans. We love that he was in the top 5. He's being mentioned. Julio was literally top dog. He was battling with Calvin Johnson, and then when Calvin Johnson retired, he was battling with AB.
Yeah.
Which
He was
shouldn't even have been a battle because he
within
was
that
better.
fluctuation of 1 and 2.
Right. And
Like,
I agree with Jimmy. Like, it really shouldn't have been a battle. Like those years when it was him and AB, come on now. We knew pound for pound, AB was probably the better wide receiver. But that's because Julio allowed that. And I feel like that's something I can't agree with Jimmy. I know he used the quarterbacks, but when you think about it, think about the situations. Roddy came in. He was the number one, playing with Vic. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Now you playing with damn Brian Leftwich and Joey Harrington and who knows the quarterbacks. But then Julio came into the situation where he was with Roddy and Tony G for the first 2 seasons, if not 3. And by the time that Roddy was gone, that's the year we went to the Super Bowl, ironically. But when you think about the situations, that's also something you got to consider when you think about who was the pound for pound better wide receiver in our history. And
Pound, pound, pound for pound, I'm gonna take AB.
No,
like oh well, I'm just saying like between Julio and AB, I'm gonna take AB just because he put up more touchdowns. But
you got to. That dude was unstoppable.
Yeah, like you couldn't do nothing.
He was scoring.
Like
he was scoring. It was like you could
outside of
that.
That
is something that you got to think about. Is that like Roddy again? Like he was saying, Roddy came in and them first 2 years was iffy, and then even the third year, you playing with a rookie quarterback. You know, I bet he a top pick, but he a rookie quarterback, and he was still able to put up his numbers. And then his number 2 at that time was Michael Jenkins. What was Brian Finneran still there? Rookie year?
Yeah.
Matt's rookie year?
He may have been, yes.
I think he was there 1 year with
I think he was flat.
But
let me say this real quick about Julio, since we're talking about AB. I think when you look at, because the touchdowns are it's glaring when you look at the touchdowns, and I think one thing that, and I'm not trying to take anything away from AB just to big up Julio because he's a Falcon, but I think AB's and this could have been a good or bad thing about Julio. It all depends on how you look at it. But if AB wasn't getting the ball, he was gonna go tell you, I need the goddamn ball.
Right.
In the red zone, I need the motherfucking ball, Ben. When Julio was getting the ball in the red zone, Julio would come in the huddle and say, "It's okay as long as we scored."
Mm-hmm. That's the problem with this team, with this franchise. We don't have enough dogs to sit there and say, "Hey, look, I'm great. You know I'm great. I know I'm great. Give me the ball."
Yeah.
To be honest, we will end up in a situation like Seattle on the 1 yard line, and you got beast mode behind you.
Man,
give me the ball.
That was the worst play call.
Give me the ball.
That had nothing to do with beast mode, because his team, everyone knew he was supposed to get 3-4 straight carries. Goddamn.
Exactly. Like,
but that had nothing.
That's the whole thing. But like a lot. What people don't understand too is we work Julio into the ground. Julio was our person to get us down the field. Once he get us down the field, we get in the red zone. But your job is done. Come here. Come sit by me.
Okay, y'all. Let me read this comment real quick. Armani Newsom says Julio is the greatest Falcon of all time. What's up, Armani? Now I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna go around the panel real quick, and we're gonna start with Jimmy, because Jimmy, as you know, this is a big debate in Falcon land, especially in all season. We ain't got shit to talk about. But Jimmy, in your opinion, in your own criteria, this is your answer, of course. Who is the greatest Falcon of all time?
Of all time, if I'm looking overall, what they were able to do for the franchise, it has to be Matt Ryan. I mean, unfortunately, the stats for what he was able to do from his rookie year on to when he left, yeah, I know it ended sour, but he literally rose us up from where we were a few years before that, being
from the abyss.
being actually a playoff contender for years.
Yeah.
I think people forget that.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you said that perfectly.
All right, so we got one on the panel for Matt Ryan, and also people in the comments. Y'all chime in on this too. Who is the greatest Falcon of all time on the panel? We got one vote already for Matty Ice. So Winston, you're on the clock, sir. The greatest Falcon of all time is
Hey, Matt Ryan, hand down.
two for
Our
Iceman.
winning, our winningest tenure came under his rim. Like you gotta think about it. Matt had a record for the most consecutive 200-yard game.
Solid.
Look
Just
at
a
look at it.
solid
Look at these running quarterbacks nowadays. Can't even hit 200 yards. Matt did that for seasons straight. We
Yeah, I
went to
think
the
it was
Super Bowl
43
behind
games.
this man. Don't get me wrong though. Like our defense when we went to the Super Bowl, our defense caught a stride after the bye week. All right, that's cool. I respect that. But at the same time, that man put up historical numbers. Matt is the greatest Falcon of all time. Close second, Julio Jones.
All right, we got two on the panel with Matt Ryan. Two more to go. Mark, I kind of think I know who you're gonna say, but
You already know.
you on the clock, my brother.
Hey, you
Caleb
already know.
McGarrett.
Right. Hey, it's crazy to think that we traded back in the first to get his ass, but now he's solid. He's solid.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
man, like, so far I think it's unanimous, man. It's easy. It's Matt Ryan. Like everyone spoke on, like the numbers are there. He like Jimmy said, he kind of had like the sour ending. Not even really, because we got a third from him. But yeah, I'm gonna just keep it short and simple. I mean, he got the MVP. He got an MVP, man. Like that's crazy to think. Like I witnessed that in my lifetime. As a 29-year-old, as a diehard fan, going through so much. Because I was in the dome when Vic was there. As a 8-year-old, 9-year-old, I didn't know what the hell was going on. I knew that it was lit, but you can't appreciate those moments. Bro, the dome was rocking.
Yeah.
But then I was there for the Detroit game, Matt Ryan's first career game, and it's funny. I was getting off the train. We were running a little late, and I missed Matt Ryan's first throw, which means I was en
You
route
missed the
into
touchdown.
You just
But I
heard
missed
everybody going
62
crazy.
yards.
You know,
62
so-
yards.
62 to Mike Jenkins. I mean, so I feel like if we talking about the greatest talent, the greatest individual player, the most exciting, I can say
Felipe Frank.
I can say people have different opinions, but if it's the greatest player, career, biggest impact, it's Matt Ryan. Easy.
Matt Ryan. So we got three on the panel with Matt. So I'm the last one ain't gave my input yet.
Hey, come on now, come correct now.
Hey, Tad. What do you think Felipe Frank ranking in this conversation?
Not right.
I mean, you gotta put him in there, man. You gotta put him in there.
No,
You gotta be like top 5.
No, he ain't. No, he definitely ain't.
He may be the greatest finesser, the greatest finesse in Falcon history.
Yeah, I might be the greatest finesse in Falcon history.
Because he still got a roster spot.
He must got a lot of stock in FedEx, boy.
Got to.
No, I mean, like, I'm gonna be honest with you. As much as I do not like Felipe Frank as a player, he has accuracy doing what Arthur Smith wanted.
What, be sorry?
What's it been good
Yes.
at that, man?
Yes,
doing
but at the same time, like you're trying to convert a quarterback to a tight end. You know they're gonna take time.
Let me get my answer.
That's
We're not gonna turn
Right,
this into a
right,
Felipe.
right.
I'm just saying. Hey man,
So
hey Felipe,
my greatest Falcon of all time, in my opinion.
Mm.
I'm kind of conflicted because there's perception, and then for me, it's reality. I think Julio Jones is the greatest player that has ever donned our uniform for a significant amount of time. When I say significant, I'm saying 6, 7+ years. The greatest talent. I'll knock Dion out because Dion was only here 5 or 6 years. Now if Dion played here 7, 8, 9, 10 years, I would say Dion.
Right.
Absolutely.
So that's my reality. But I also understand how football works. The quarterback is lifted to a higher standard and put on a pedestal.
Right.
You know, and when we lose, we give the quarterback the most blame. So just to split the panel, I'm gonna say 1A and 1A Julio and Matt. Just to split the panel. Just so it ain't unanimous. I'm gonna say 1A and 1A Julio and Matt. Now Matt is very deserving, and don't get me wrong, I give Matt a lot of shit. The fan base give him a lot of shit, but at the same time, Matt Ryan is on the Falcons Mount Rushmore. I don't care how you feel about it. He easily one of the most important Falcons we ever had. You know, he holds the most records, in this franchise. And when he was, before he got old and a little bit slow, Matt Ryan was a very good football player. Did he have his faults? Yeah. Did sometimes he would frustrate us when he couldn't get away from pressure? Yeah. But you knew with Matt Ryan at the end of the day, hey, you're going to get 25 to 28 touchdowns. You're going to get anywhere from probably 7 to 12 interceptions. You're going to have 43, 44 plus 100 yards. And that was a given. So
exactly.
that consistency and how long he did it, I would never argue anybody real hard who would say Matt. Even though I firmly feel like Julio was the best player for an extended period of time. I think Julio was a better wide receiver than Matt Ryan was a quarterback, if that makes any sense. But when you say great, that don't mean who was the best. That means who was the greatest. You know, Hogan in wrestling, I know I'm going a little offshore, but Hogan wasn't the best wrestler. He probably was the greatest. You feel me? So we're pretty much all in agreement there. But I do give Julio his respect also, because from a dominant standpoint, dominance for an extended period of time, nobody was as dominant as Julio was. I'm talking about dominant, who people feared. And I don't care if he didn't have but 3 touchdowns that year. When you saw 11 split out wide, okay, it's something about to go on.
To piggyback off that, I actually remember when they did the NFL Top 100, and there were so many DBs and linebackers that literally would come out and say it. Trying to cover Julio was a literal nightmare because you never knew how fast he was going to hit them cuts or where he was going to run, because he might run through your chest or he might cut across your face and you be like, what do I do?
Yeah, Julio was no, Julio was different. It's
a
fortunate conversation.
Go ahead, bro.
Oh, well, I was just saying real quick. It's unfortunate that he wasn't in that conversation, because you think of the 300-yard games, you think of the season where he was very close to getting the record, and in 18 games, he definitely getting that record. But like, I think talent-wise, like, Julio is definitely like you said, Tidy. He was a better wide receiver for his career than Matt was a quarterback. And it's either you know. Like, even though he didn't get the touchdowns, that was a bad boy. Like,
bad boy.
Well, look. Let me preface you with this. Julio was dominant as a receiver, right? But at the same time, a receiver is a dependent position.
Right.
You can only do so much if your quarterback can't get you the ball.
True.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
To a certain extent, though, Winston, I will argue
I
that
mean,
to a certain extent.
I argue this all the way with Kyle Pitts too.
Let
I argue
hold,
this with Kyle Pitts too. Because
let,
at
let,
the same
let,
time,
let me give you my exception that we all can relate to, and his name has already been mentioned a lot tonight. Y'all know I'm about to go.
ooh, Felipe.
No,
Brock.
I'm not going there.
Oh.
Who said it?
It's Brock. Like, it don't care. It don't matter. It Brock,
No,
DeAndre, Justin Jefferson. There's some boys that don't matter. But
that's
no,
true.
no, go ahead.
I was
But
gonna say Roddy White. And Roddy
mm,
stepped up out of the dark and planted his feet firm and said, you know what? Y'all about to start mentioning my name. His quarterbacks were who? Leftwich, Redman,
all right, Chris
and
Redman.
Harrington. And he did it all year with a rotation of bombs throwing him the football.
I get that, but at the same time, like, all right, so look at DeAndre Hopkins. He did that for majority of his career. Roddy went through that for one season.
True.
But that's my point, though. You making my point for me.
I
It's not
mean,
always dependent on the quarterback every situation. Like there's some players that's just gonna get it no matter who throwing them the ball.
True.
yeah, I mean,
True,
I feel
true,
like
true. I wholeheartedly agree with that. But at the
Tony
same time,
Gonzalez.
you gotta think about it. if you gotta look at it like this. If the quarterback does not see it to pull the trigger to give him the ball, he cannot get a catch. He cannot get yardage. Period. Like that's really how simple it is. If the quarterback does not see you in a position to win your battle and not throw it to you, you can't get yards. You can sit there and run up and down the field as much as you want. But if the quarterback don't throw it to you, there's nothing you can do.
And it's funny,
You
even
can
speaking
run
on
all day long, the whole game long, and come out of the game with zero catches. Why? Because the quarterback ain't throw it to you.
right.
Go
No, and
ahead,
I
Mark.
think that was an interesting thing about Julio. That was his college career. Like, it was like, this is a bad
Get a
boy,
bunch
but
of yards and low touchdown.
that's what I'm saying. Like, he was like, they had to give him screens to find a way to get him the ball because the
Yeah.
quarterback could not get him the ball any other way. And I feel like that was the interesting thing about Kyle Pitts is, and I feel like that's why he went so high because he didn't have a quarterback that could really get him the ball, and he was still putting up numbers. I know that's a conversation going back from the Brock Bowers and all that, but like, I think if you a
Time
bad boy,
traveling,
you
brother.
a bad boy. Like, if you bad, you bad. It don't really matter, bro, because the coaches know you bad. So like in practice and training camp, they are figuring out how the hell we gonna get you the ball. Like, so that's why I think it's crazy. Julio definitely up there, and I feel like honestly now I even think about it. Maybe this is the Crown Pete's talking. But I think I might have to change my answer. Now I'm starting to think Julio actually might be the greatest Falcon.
There you go,
Like,
Mark. Come on down the road with me.
not because like because again, like
Hey,
it
look,
didn't
Mark. There's a hole in the tire. There's a nail in the tire.
Hold on, let
You
let
can
it give
go
him
down the road with him. You can
let
go
it give
down the road with him.
let it give him
But
let him
sooner or
give him an
later,
explanation.
it's gonna run flat.
Hold on, don't stop and keep cooking, Mark. What you gonna say?
Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I mean, obviously, I agree with Tidy. Unfortunately, it's one of those things where it got to be 1A, 1B, and it's tough because if you do a top 100, or if you even go back and look at those top hundreds, like Jimmy said, people gonna go crazy about Julio. Oh my God, Julio this, Julio that, Julio this, Julio that, and it's just like I'm not saying Julio made Matt, but boy, Julio definitely helped Matt continue to be consistent and to break those records. It's easy to get 200 if you got Julio out playing one, like because Julio gonna give you 100.
every game.
All
Every
right,
game.
hold on.
Change my
Like
Sit,
answer.
Julio
sit.
gonna
No,
so Julio
hey,
Julio is gonna give you half of that
hey,
record. Half
hey,
of the
Jimmy,
record should go to Julio.
Jimmy, me and you, we here.
Well, I think.
They
Wait,
on the
I think
bandwagon.
Jimmy said.
What it,
Jimmy, did
what
you
it,
say you
what
gonna
it,
change
what
your
it,
answer?
what it. Hey,
Wait,
Jimmy,
wait. We
I'm gonna
might
skin
got
him up.
Jimmy.
I'm gonna skin him up. I'm gonna
Go
skin him
ahead.
up.
Go ahead.
Hey,
Jimmy going
Mark.
after you.
Hey, Mark.
I might have to switch that up to a 1A and 1B.
It's a 1A,
And
1B.
I said that at first. I literally said that at first. But anyway, I'm gonna go beyond it. Hey, Mark.
It's 1A, 1B. It's 1A, 1B.
What
You know
what
it.
what
One
what is
A,
what is
one A.
True.
what is it? Hey, Mark. You if you want an omelet for breakfast,
Here go the analogies.
but you have no eggs in the house, what do?
If I want an omelet and what?
Go
If
to
you
the
want an
store.
omelet for breakfast, but you have no eggs in the house, what do?
you go buy the eggs like Tom Dimitroff did in the draft. You trade up to go
Right.
get them eggs, which is
Right.
exactly what he did
Hold on,
with the
hold
Browns.
on. Why do you have to trade up to go get eggs? That makes no sense. You can just go to the store and go buy eggs. You
That's
just
what he
go to the
did.
store and buy eggs, right?
That's what
Right?
he did.
That's what he
Now
did.
watch this.
Pay for eggs.
Now watch this. So once you have the egg and you know how you want your omelet made, then what do? You go get them off. You go get your old lady because she cook it the way that you like it, or you make it because you like it that certain way. But now that you have the eggs, you can make the omelet. Matt
But
had to throw Julio the ball because Julio without Matt could not catch a pass.
and I agree. I agree. But let me ask you this then. For your analogy's sake, and I want everyone to please join in with this. Because this is my fandom as a Atlanta sports fan and as a Georgia fan. If you could have got AJ Green that draft, you getting AJ or you getting Julio?
Julio.
Knowing the
Wow.
college careers they had,
Fact.
AJ Green.
No, easily.
Wait,
I'm going with the bigger. I'm going with the bigger, stronger, and faster guy
Hold on.
receiver.
Let's bring some clarity into this. Now, it
You
is a
can
fact.
get both.
It's a fact that the Falcons were trying to trade up to get AJ. Julio
True.
was second fiddle.
And I still would take Julio over AJ.
Yeah, in
You know why?
hindsight, yeah.
Because no, I mean it's common sense. Julio is bigger, he's stronger, he's faster.
But hold on, like wait, that.
But AJ still went first.
Because right, and we said 30 minutes ago that we take AB who was smaller over Julio's
Right.
career.
Look, put it like this. If I'm drafting a team, I'm going bigger, stronger, and faster. Point blank period. AJ have speed. Don't get me wrong. That's cool. That's cute. AJ had a productive career. That's cute too. But at the same time, he's frail. That's why he was always hurt. Julio hurt and AJ hurt is two entirely different things. AJ was missing seasons. Julio was missing a couple of games. You know why? Because he's bigger, stronger, and faster.
But AJ wasn't missing seasons to the end. Am I remembering?
No, AJ was missing seasons for majority of his career.
Was he?
AJ played like 2-3 seasons, and then he was out for a season. Came back for a season, and was out for half a season. Came back for a season, and then was out for half another season. Like AJ missed a shit ton of time. Why? Because he's frail.
But
Okay.
again,
Are y'all?
for your point,
AJ
yeah,
Green did not. He didn't start missing games really until about 7 or 8 years in.
okay, yeah, that's what I was
And,
saying.
and,
Like,
and all right, so then what happened?
Then he started
So
getting hurt.
here's what
right.
happened.
Oh, how many games he really missed before that?
Before, okay, I'm gonna go down the list real quick. His rookie year, he played in all 15 games. Well, I'm sorry, he missed one game. I said it wrong. His
Mm-hmm.
second year, he played in all 16 games. Third year, he played in all 16 games. Fourth
Mm.
year, he missed 3 games.
Fourth year.
Fifth
There you
game,
go.
hold on. Fifth year, he didn't miss any games. Sixth
Mm.
year, he missed 6 games. Seventh year, he played in all 16 games. So he really didn't start getting hurt till after his 7th year.
All right,
But
so Julio, and in that time span, Julio missed a season because he broke his foot, and then he started missing a couple of games. Who was more productive? Who was more productive?
Before he started getting hurt,
To me, it had to be
it
close.
probably it was close. It's closer than you think, Winston. Looking at the numbers, bro.
No. I know it's close. I know for a fact it's close. AJ was a dog. AJ was a
AJ was
dog.
a dog.
The whole
He was
thing with
That's what I'm saying.
AJ,
I'm not sure about
he's small. How about
I'm
he
not
getting
sure I
hurt?
understand.
if I remember right, and I'm gonna
What the hell was that?
I think that
That was
was on
probably
my side. You
my
know,
Siri on my phone. I mean,
Yo,
on my laptop.
did y'all just hear a woman say something?
yeah, I think that was
Yeah.
on my side though. You know, sometimes you look at these websites, you had little commercials pop up.
Hey man, what type of website you on, Tyler?
That's what is it? Pro Football Reference.
Right.
That's outside of on YouTube code of conduct.
so
Right.
I have an idea of why AJ started getting hurt, and y'all gonna be honest and shocked when I tell you this.
Go ahead.
So, what kind of field do we have in Atlanta?
Now or
Yes.
then?
Right. Yeah.
We've always mostly had a
We got
turf
grass.
field. Haycourt Stadium, when AJ was drafted, had a grass field. They switched over the field turf, which a lot of players have always said. Turf does
Definitely.
not give as much as grass.
Yeah,
Right.
turf is horrible.
So I'm
Like,
getting
yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
That's what happened.
Anybody sitting there watching this right now, the best way I can describe turf field to you, if you ever ran around a actual track, that rubber that you run on, that's turf.
Oh yeah, I played on one
Yeah.
before.
That's literally what turf is. You have that rubber on leaf of false grass.
And
It
don't
has
get
no
tackled
give.
on it when it's
That-
hot.
It has no give. You have to have specialized cleats to actually eat into it. You will blow a ACL, MCL, PCL very easily on that.
So again, though, again for the panel, if you can redraft, we know what Julio meant to our franchise. In a redraft, if you can get up to that 6th spot,
5.
well, I guess the 4th spot, or what it was 5. But regardless,
Fact.
y'all taking AJ?
Are you saying in hindsight or before we know how their careers played out?
Now you saying hindsight, and we still would take Julio.
Easier. Well, I guess
I'm
We
in
still
hindsight,
take Julio.
If the Falcons would have stayed put and actually wouldn't have even have traded up in that draft, they had their picks of going after a defender, which we still could have got. You had guys trying to remember where did Atlanta trade up from?
I think
The
we were
20s, like
26.
21, 22, 23. We was down there because
Okay.
we was good.
So I'm finna give y'all some hindsight, and you're gonna hate this when I tell you.
Go ahead.
We could have got JJ Watt.
Right.
We could have got a Robert Quinn. You could have even got Ryan Kerrigan, who some people don't look at as a great DM, but has been consistent with the sack
Most
numbers.
definitely. Most
So
definitely.
You're
you
solid.
could have gotten some great talent without trading up and giving half of your first round picks away for the future.
Right. Because that's not even to mention the first round we gave, I'm assuming, the next season. So there's no telling who we could have got in that spot. But
True.
I feel like
Hey.
that also goes into his legacy. Is that we spent a lot to get him. You know, was he really worth all those picks?
Yes, and I'm about to trip y'all out. I know the
Uh-oh.
defenders we missed out on: J.J. Watt, Cam Jordan, and a few others. But J.J. Watt, how many Super Bowls?
None.
Cam Jordan, how many Super Bowls?
One, I think.
Cam Jordan?
Wait, no.
Cam
He
Jordan,
came
no.
after they. He never made it to the Super Bowl with New Orleans.
Yeah,
Okay,
he came after. He came
now,
after.
did any of those players come as close as we did to winning a Super Bowl?
No. And now that I'm looking at the picks, so the year after that, that Cleveland drafted, you know who they took with our pick?
Bums.
Old ass Brandon Whedon.
Bums.
Oh,
Bums.
Jesus.
Bums.
Brandon Whedon? No,
Brandon Whedon.
they drafted their
So
quarterback coach. Like
Yeah.
that's what he is. He's a quarterback coach. That's crazy.
so along those lines, we made a great pick.
Yeah, we did.
No, it was a great pick. But I remember at the time, I just was like, as a dog fan, I remember AJ Green as a freshman. Same thing we were talking about Brock. And as a freshman, I'm like, bruh, this dude different. And
He was
obviously, I don't
Yeah,
want to say dude.
Miss B, you
I
right.
don't want to say dude. I'm saying this different. And it's so funny how life and time and sports move so fast. Because then it was like, damn, he already draft eligible, and he over there balling with Matt Stafford, and I really feel like things would have been different with AJ. Like
Hey, fella,
AJ would be like a legend.
let me ask you a question. Let me ask all y'all a question.
Go
How
ahead.
do y'all feel about this season? Where do y'all see us realistically in the end of the regular season?
I honestly think we can win the division
Mm.
easily. And I'll tell you why. If you look at the makeup of every team, I don't trust New Orleans with Derek Carr. Tampa doesn't have a quarterback.
Right.
And if you really want to be honest, Carolina is banking on the fact that Bryce Young is going to be great year one, and he's going to have a very tough uphill climb to make them relevant in year one. Desmond Ridder already has the tools on this
You
team.
talking about Jane?
They already have the tools with Desmond Ridder, Bijan, all of them boys, to where he doesn't have to put up great numbers, but he can do just enough to where we should be able to win games and win the division.
All right, let me ask you this,
What do you
Jimmy.
think?
Let me ask you this real quick, Jimmy. And I see this a lot among a lot of Falcons fans, and I think it's because it's that what color them dudes? What, black and gold. But why is everybody so down on Derek Carr?
Why?
I mean, here's why. What really did he accomplish with the Raiders? The Raiders kept giving him, he kept having good defensive talent. So it was never that they didn't have a good defense. And they gave him pretty decent guys on offense. Matter of fact, last year, you had Devontae Adams and you had the leading rusher in Brandon Jacobs. So they literally should have been a shoo-in to at least win a wild card.
Their defense was terrible. Their defense was literally terrible.
But look at who they're.
I'm talking about like
Josh McDaniels has never
terrible,
been a great
terrible.
coach.
I'm talking about like our like 2019 defense, terrible. Their defense was horrible.
The worst
But
DB
I'm
in the
I'm
league.
I'm gonna throw y'all this tidbit. I do not believe in Derek Carr because like what is it in like the past 5 years? Past 5 years, give or take 6 years. Derek Carr has as many losses as Matt Ryan do. They're
He
tied
gives
for
me
the
Matt
most
Ryan
losses.
vibes, honestly.
But
That,
to
that,
me,
But
there's
we
no
just said
that
Matt,
he
the
is.
greatest player in franchise history.
No,
Which one is it?
Right.
look.
I mean,
Which
He's
one
the
is it,
best
man?
quarterback in the division.
This is what a lot of people have to understand. Being great for a losing franchise and being the greatest in a losing franchise does not stack up to the league.
true.
At the end of the day, there are 31 other teams. You can be
But
great and be the big fish in a small pond. But when you get your ass out there in that ocean, you can't stand up to it.
you got to think with Derek Carr is kind of
I'm not saying that Matt can't stand up to it because Matt numbers put him out there. He did what he did. His numbers put him out there. But at the same time, you're still a big fish in a small pond. And the league and the Hall of Fame is going to look at you like such.
But again, when you look at our division, we were the last team in the division last year. Who was the Saints quarterback last year? Andy Dalton?
Yeah, and
Who?
famous James.
Well,
That's
you,
what I'm saying.
well,
But the point is, who was the quarterback for Carolina last year? Who was the quarterback
PJ Walker.
for
yeah,
exactly?
no.
For,
It,
to me,
no,
it's not
PJ
wise to sleep on
came in.
Derek Carr.
PJ came in after what the hell?
They started with Sam Darnold.
Let me say this while you think.
Yeah.
Right.
Do y'all
No,
realize?
it started with Sam and then when the
hold on a
PJ
second.
then went back to Sam.
Hold on a second.
Right.
Do y'all realize Derek Carr made 3 consecutive Pro Bowls prior to last year?
He is not nothing to sleep on.
I wonder why they sleeping on him, Mark. I don't know why our fan base just feel like he garbage.
I don't think
saying
he's
the man is
garbage.
garbage.
He's the best quarterback in the division.
Yes. Thank you, Mark.
I
don't know why
I would give him that. I would give him that until Ritter proves himself.
I think it's because it's the New Orleans Atlanta thing. We don't want to give him no more credit than we have to.
Right.
But man,
Look,
don't sleep on Derek Carr, man.
look, I wanted Carr to come in. When Lamar that wasn't happening, I wanted Carr to come in. Because Carr is the closest thing to Matt Ryan. Outside of having a bigger arm and consistency. So
Let me give y'all Derek Carr.
there's nothing that Carr do that push a team over the top.
Wait, hold on a second. It's
Winston,
that
you
time for
scaring me because I thought you cursing us. I felt like you. I remember the year when we played New Orleans. I mean, we played Tampa the first. It was 2016. We played Tampa the first game in Atlanta. Winston looked like the best quarterback of all time in Atlanta.
I was at that game.
I was at the game.
He was at the game.
He throwing perfect passes to Mike Evans.
He had 3 TDs that game.
Yards. But the point is, bro, it don't take much to look good in this division. And Derek Carr is probably the best quarterback we had in this division since the Drew Brees, since the Matt Ryans. So
Tom Brady, don't leave him out of.
Yeah, true. But Tom Brady, but I guess what I'm going to say before Toddy hop back on is I think we can win the division, but this is going to be a very interesting division this year because we don't know what the fuck we got at quarterback.
It truly won't be because you got to look at it. All right, Alvin Kamara has a whole legal situation going on.
Was he
At
suspended?
any day, no, at any day, at any given time, he can be suspended because he beat up the dude
We know what you're saying.
in the hallway. He beat the dude
Right.
up in the hallway. So I mean, casino hallway. There you go, casino hallway. So with him doing that, and they have video of it, they just haven't passed judgment on it yet.
True.
Judgment on it?
I'm gonna say this, y'all. I hate New Orleans as much as the next man. That's a Falcons fan, but bro,
It's
Here-
really
dog,
interesting.
they still got that defense, man, and they
No, they
upgraded.
really don't though.
Hold on. Who still got the defense?
Y'all keep this in mind. Just hear me out for a second. They upgraded at quarterback after sweeping us. There's no guarantee that we're just gonna run through this division like a lot of Falcons fans just are saying we
Hold
are.
on. I have to ask you this question. Who still have that defense that you was just talking about?
They still
They were
got
solid last
personnel,
year.
bro.
Who you talking about the Saints?
Yes.
Yeah, they were solid.
Brother.
Let me ask you this.
Brother.
Let me ask
No,
you
no.
this. No, hold on.
Alright.
Just a second.
Alright.
When's the last time the Saints had a bad defense? Answer that for me. Be honest.
2006.
About
I'll be honest. The last time I remember them being
about
bad,
2006.
That's
About
a long
2006.
fucking time.
Hold on. All right, so let me give you this.
But no, it really was
One-
around 2011.
one-
2012.
One of it really was about 2006.
No, it was
That was
2000.
that was before they won the Super Bowl.
Hear me out for a second. Hear me out. Around 2012, they almost set a record for the worst defense in NFL history.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
Coming
They
back.
came
then
like
what did-
they came some yards away
What
from
did you do
setting that
after
record.
that?
Say that again.
What did you do after that?
I don't understand your question.
I said, what did they do after that?
The defense
what
or
way?
the team?
Yeah, the defense.
They got
Oh, the
better.
team. The team trash. To me, the Saints will always be trash.
Dog, don't
But
sleep.
anyway,
I feel you, bro.
But look.
Don't sleep on it. That's all I'm saying,
No,
bro.
I
Especially
can't.
against us.
We can say whatever we want, but we got to be
Me
honest.
logically,
Hold
I
on.
cannot sit there and sleep on it.
We can say whatever we
Right.
want, but when we got to be honest with ourselves, they be whooping our ass every year. They find a way.
so
Even
here's
Carolina.
We gotta
Even
be honest,
Carolina.
man.
Even the Panthers. I'm scared that we will not treat Bryce Young like a rookie quarterback. I think we're gonna be. I mean, I don't think none, honestly. But from our history, we will take our Bryce Young and make him look solid because we'll play a prevent defense. We will literally give him the dink and dunks, and they will drive all the way up the field, and they will find a way to get a touchdown. So, like, that's why I'm scared based on our history. I'm excited because we don't have an old ass D coordinator no more. So a lot of our season, whether people want to admit it or not, is relying on this new hire at defensive coordinator. It's relying on our new starting quarterback.
Right.
If those two things click, because the schedule is there, we have an easier schedule. We got the division. We know what the fuck we got to deal with in our division. So I think like Jimmy said, there's an opportunity to win the division, but it's like two things that got to click, and I think we all agree. Desmond Ridder got to be solid, and the defensive coordinator got to stop bullshitting. All that prevent defense and this, that. Luckily, we got some free agents, so we can maybe wreak some havoc. But if those two things click, I agree with Jimmy. And I would say, again, going to your question, Winston, because I think this should be the goal for any team in the NFL. Your goal going into the season should be win the division. If you win the division,
Always.
if you win the division, you get a home playoff game. If you get a home playoff game, shit, you got a good
Anything happen.
Anything can happen because if you can win the first one, anything can happen. So
Hey, you're a step closer. You're a step closer.
You a step closer, and that's why I think with this team, like Jimmy said, Desmond got the tools, bro. You know, Kelly's saying honestly, we got the biggest question mark.
Yeah,
in the
read
most
that for me,
position
Mark.
of all sports. We really can't count on wins yet. It's cool to be optimistic, but we actually can see him perform. I agree. It's on Desmond Ridder. If Desmond Ridder is solid, he could throw the dinks to Bijan. He could throw the dinks to CP, to Cordell. He can find London on the slants. The offense got to be simple, bro. Because that was a sour point that rubbed me the wrong way with Arthur last year. Nigga,
let me throw something to y'all.
Go ahead.
Because I'm gonna be honest. I am not sold on Desmond Ridder. He is our quarterback. Fact. I am not sold on him though.
Right.
The best thing for Desmond Ridder is that defense to figure out how to unlock a hellacious pass rush.
That's what I'm saying.
That will mask Ridder. That will mask Ridder. So whatever he do, that pass rush is going.
The game has changed though.
Hold on.
Like quarterbacks are not taking those 7-step drops no more, bro. So this idea that we're going to
quarterbacks are definitely taking 7-step drop. If you had a team to do that, you can do that. We don't have a team to do that. Put it like this. The 2000 Miami Hurricane. You know how great their defense was? Their defense was so great that if the offense itself did not score a point, they still would have went 8-4.
Bruh. It's 2023, bruh.
Now, so watch me. All right, so last year we had 21 sacks. The year before that we had 18 sacks.
Really?
You know what the league?
Yeah.
Hold on. Watch this. The league average is 40 sacks.
That's what I'm saying.
In 2 years, we had less than the league average.
Yeah.
Put 2 years together, and the league average for a season is 40 sacks. Our 2 years didn't even hit that mark.
The average is 40?
The average is 40 sacks.
Wow.
And in 2 years, we still ain't hit 40 sacks. See what I'm saying? So the best. Hey, Tyler, man. Hey, man.
No, that ain't me this time. That ain't me.
I'm sorry.
No. Look.
Alexa or something.
But
Siri, always listening.
Somebody about to get the lotion. Look. So if we can unlock our defense to at least get to the league average in sacks,
right?
Yeah, think about it. How many games we lost that were 1-score games? Now think about it. We only had 20 sacks on the season.
But
if
who do we
double
play?
that?
Who do we play though? We played. I can't even think of the quarterbacks we played because they were bums.
It doesn't matter.
You
Now
know how we
It
lose
that's
to
an
does
New
excuse.
Orleans
matter.
every year?
It does
That
matter because
no, that's an excuse. That's an excuse. I'm
no,
sorry.
because
That's an
this
excuse.
this year
That's
we're
an
playing
excuse.
Bryce Young and we're playing Derek Carr. We're playing
No,
Bryce
So
Young. We're
what?
we
playing
don't even
Derek
play
Carr.
Derek Carr. You know how you stop New Orleans? And I'm not even in Flowery Branch. Every year, the Falcons make Taysom Hill look relevant.
Look
Stop
like
Fact,
that man
solid.
and you win the game.
That's
He
my point.
runs
fact.
for 100 yards every time they play us.
But
Like
that's my point. If our
what?
new defensive coordinator can be a normal modern defensive coordinator, when you're not letting these bums look like solid NFL quarterbacks, that was our issue over the past 2-3 seasons. Is anyone could come into Atlanta, whether you in Atlanta or we playing in Jacksonville, in London, it don't matter. You're gonna look solid. Matter of fact, this game might make you $100 million because we will make any
Facts.
quarterback look solid. Any quarterback against the Cardinals. The Cardinals quarterback didn't start for 200 days, 400, 500 days. He come in, he looks solid.
Hey,
And
Kelly, you right. Hey, Kelly, you right. I don't mean to cut you off, but Kelly, you right.
and that's all I'm saying. If Desmond Ritter can be solid and the defensive coordinator can be, I don't want to use woke, but I want to use aware. Okay, because it's like, okay, we got a bum ass quarterback we going into. I don't know. We'll be practicing all week, but why are we giving him all the short passes? Make him beat us deep. Make him beat us deep. We got AJ on one side. Now we got Jeff. Now we got a couple of different pieces.
You didn't have the personnel to make somebody beat us deep.
I'm gonna tell
No,
you what
no,
a
no.
lot. Let me tell you what a lot of that
Like,
is, Mark. Is when we talking defense, we got to understand that our franchise philosophy is. Um, our
bend
franchise
but don't break.
philosophy. Now, our franchise philosophy is we like to be exciting. We like to sell tickets.
Right.
Look at this. Look at this. Current regime's drafting history, and I'm not trying to throw no salt at none of our players, but the first round picks: Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan Robinson. You're drafting offense. You're drafting offense for the people in Atlanta to come in and get drunk and say, "Hey, score touchdowns, score touchdowns."
Right.
But them teams in the AFC that come beat our ass every year, they draft defense.
They drive defense. They
So
sign.
when we making Taysom Hill and all these bombs look good, is because a lot of times we spend foundation draft picks on offensive guys. A unicorn, Drake London, Bijan Robinson.
I agree.
Instead of spending top 10 picks on the defensive side of the ball. So when the defense can't stop nobody, what's with the defense? Well, you don't spend quality draft picks on defense. That's why you ain't got the defensive
I,
guys on the rookie contracts.
Right.
I put it to you like this: the top edge rushers are over in the AFC and have been in for like the better part of the past decade. Why? Because they understand, hey, the only way I can beat these teams is to be able to put a quarterback on their back. Point blank period. Von Miller, you got Joey Bosa over there, Melvin Ingram, uh what's it, Johnny and Gakwe. Like
Mhm.
AFC understand, hey, everybody here are drafting top tier quarterback. The only way I can beat them is to put their quarterback on their back.
Right,
We're
right.
so far behind the schedule. So when a team in the NFC figure out, hey, maybe I should go do that, they have success. Look at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay took and figured it out. Hey, if I can get that quarterback on the ground, I got a shot. Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl. Look at Philly. Philly took and figured it out, and then they didn't win the Super Bowl. But to be honest, Philly would have won that Super Bowl if they hadn't if Jalen Hurts hadn't fumbled that ball.
Okay, real
Right.
quick, we got a question here, real quick, and I'm gonna go around the panel. Kelly says, "Question: If you're a defensive coordinator playing against the Falcons, how would you stop this offense? I would stack the box, make the Falcons pass to win." Uh,
That's the
Jimmy, what do
answer.
you think?
Uh, Easiest way to stop the Falcons right now, because I know they're going to run the ball, is like he said, stack the box on passing downs. I'm sending guys at your left tackle, your left guard, and your center because those are your weakest positions. You can't really
Right.
go at the right side because they're strong, so that's how you beat them.
What you
Agreed. I
say,
mean,
Mark?
it really is that simple. You put a 9 in a box. With Arthur Smith, this is the benefit for a defensive coordinator. He outsmarts himself, so he might keep Kyle Pitts in line. So you run at him towards a linebacker and a safety. So you really don't even worry because he's double teamed by default. And again, I think it just comes down to like he said, like Jamie said, first and second down, you stopping the run. You committed to stopping the run. On first down, you committed to stopping the run, and that would be an interesting thing to see with Arthur Smith because Arthur Smith's not stupid. He knows that teams are going to want to stop him on first down. First down is going to be the most important down in our season because everyone knows we want to get 6 yards on first down.
Yeah,
So it's that simple. Damn near every play you stacking the box because you know that okay, I got Desmond Rizzo as my quarterback. I want third and threes. I want second and sixes. And if you can stop that, that's when Arthur Smith has to get creative, and that's how you can beat the Falcons. So again, stack the box, stop the run, and let Desmond Ritter beat you.
gotcha. What would you do, Winston?
To me, to be honest, I would run an inverted 4-3. I would say the outside linebacker out and put in a big safety like
Mm.
Helms.
So like a 46 defense.
No, no, I'm not putting all that weight out on the field. I don't need all that weight on the field. All I need is a a player that can play that star role. I don't need all that weight on the field because feel like this. All right, so with the personnel that we can line up on the field, I can come out. I can literally come out with Pitts on the field,
Mm-hmm.
Bijan, Algier, and Cordell Patterson, and London out wide.
Right.
So the only, but I can motion out of it. See what a lot of people don't understand is the defense cannot substitute until the offense show their personnel. Then the
Right.
defense can sub in their personnel. So I will come with an inverted 4-3. I will like I if I'm talking just off our defensive player, what I would do is I would put Helms as a outside linebacker.
Who?
Helm
Hello.
from Helm
DeMarco
Helm.
Helen.
Yeah, DeMarco Helm from Alabama. I would put him as
Mm.
the outside
Oh, okay.
linebacker.
Mm.
Put him in that star role, just like we had Isaiah Oliver. That's the best way that you can sit and match up with this offense. Therefore, when they flex out, because they're gonna come out in a bunch and then they're gonna flex out. The best way
Right.
you can flex out and cover that is to have a a quicker person, but at the same time a hitter,
Right.
like a linebacker. That's the only way you can sit there and cover this offense. If they utilize this offense like they should be utilized.
Right.
Now,
Right.
if you don't, man, it don't matter what you do. You can come out in 46 bell. You can come out in the 46 bell and just be just spread out and go empty set. And your 4-6 bear is null and void.
But my
Because you
thing
got
is,
nothing but weight on the field. They can't run.
but my thing is, London don't scare you over the top. So
I don't know why it doesn't. I honestly do not understand why you think London doesn't scare you over top.
He don't.
London can get
He
40
he
for
don't.
a
yards.
whole
He
game, for
don't.
a whole
He
game.
no.
Hold
He
on, hold
don't.
on.
Hold
He
on.
don't. He don't have the speed nor the explosiveness to scare nobody
No,
over
no,
the top.
no. Look. I'm not sitting there saying London's not going to sit there and burn down the field and bust you for 60 yards.
Right.
No,
But
I'm
still,
not
a
saying
whole
that.
game.
But if London can sit there and burn you for 40 yards consistently,
He not gonna do
that's
that
over the
consistently
top.
though. No,
He
Drake.
can.
Consistent.
No.
Desmond
Man,
Drake.
Ritter
look.
to London, 40
Hey,
yards.
look. You go back and watch London tape.
Mm-mm.
London can burn your ass consistently for 40 yards.
In
I
college,
promise you.
maybe.
No,
But you're
he
not.
do it in the league.
No. He.
If
That's not the
that,
kind of receiver he is.
All
he's
right.
not that.
Look,
And
no,
that's what I'm
no, no,
saying. You
no.
stack the box.
What y'all trying to relegate him to is a possession receiver, but that's not what he is.
He
He's
he
not a
Is
possession
that?
receiver. He's not
no.
Muhammad Sanu. He's
He
not that.
No,
he's
he's
not
not
He's
that.
not
that.
Julio. He's not Julio. Don't get me wrong. He's not Julio by far. But I promise you, if you need to get 40 yards on the field, London can go get that
40?
easily. Easily.
Again,
Man, you gotta think
t-
about it. The man goddamn 6'5", goddamn almost 220.
But
Running down the field.
that's any NFL wide receiver though.
How?
They
that's a
all
jump
athletic
ball
freaks.
situation. That's a one-on-one 50-50 type of ball. And if I'm a defensive coordinator,
And
I want that.
what did he do in 50-50 type balls?
He
He win
wins them.
those.
No. I
The
like
whole
Drake.
reason why he was drafting eighth with the eighth pick.
I like Drake. But again, we're
So
talking about what would a defensive coordinator do in 2023? I want that. I want that. I want you throwing 50-50s to your possession wide receiver, and we'll see what happens.
Let me ask y'all this real quick. I want everybody's
that makes
opinion.
no sense.
Hold on, Winston.
you,
Hold on a second. Let me ask y'all this real quick, and I want everybody's opinion. I would like y'all to rank the top 4 quarterbacks. Now, throw out your Falcon shades from 1 to 4. Who are the top 4 quarterbacks in the league? Well, not sorry, in the NFC South at this time. Go ahead, Jimmy. What's your 1 through 4 ranking?
My 1 through 4, if I had to go based on current talent, number 1 is Derek Carr. Number 2 is probably going to be Desmond Ritter, only because he does have some in-game experience. Number 3 will have to be Bryce Young, because I think he's a little bit more talented than anybody that the Buccaneers can put up. 4, I'm going to just be honest. If Baker is the starter in Tampa, I just don't trust Baker Mayfield. Like, I've seen what he is, and I think Bryce Young is going to be way better than him as a rookie. So, to me, Baker Mayfield is 4.
Okay, so just to reiterate, you got Derek Carr 1, you got Ritter 2, you got Bryce 3, and you got number 4 Baker.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Go ahead, Winston. You're 1 through 4 for us.
Number 1, Jalen Hurts. Easily.
No. No.
Jalen Hurts.
No, in the division.
Oh, you say in the division. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you say NFC.
Yeah, NFC
in the division. Derek Carr. Derek Carr number one. Easily. Um, to be honest, and I hate to hurt people feeling, probably Bryce Young. Bryce
Got
Young
to.
is probably number two. Um, Ritter would be number three because that whole we don't know what's going on in Tampa, and then whoever their quarterback in Tampa is for.
So you got to reiterate, you got Carr first, you got
Carr
Bryce
one,
two, and three you got
Ritter,
Ritter, and four you
James
got
Ritter.
Tampa quarterback Baker for right now. All right, Mark, go ahead.
Yeah.
What's your 1 through 4?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go backwards. It got to be Ritter. Ritter has to be the last quarterback in our division. Does he have potential to be number one, number two, number three? He does. He has the tools. But I'm just talking about. I'm trying to respect, the quarterbacks in our division. Dennis Baker Mayfield. He'll be at my number three. Two will be Bryce because even last year he showed that he can have success with anybody. He has that type of magic where he can figure it out. He may hit his number one, number two running back, run, take 6 yards. To me, that's something you can't overlook. He was the first pick for a reason. So come on now. Like we can't put him underneath Ritter for no reason. Need a number one.
Hold on, bro.
It has to be Derek Carr for
You,
number one.
you can't sit there and say because a quarterback was the number one overall pick that
Yes.
he's automatically great. Like look at Jamarcus Russell.
No, this is a different situation.
I
This is a
mean,
different situation.
no, you
No,
can't sit there. You can't say
no,
it's a different situation until you prove it different.
and no,
He has to
honestly,
prove it.
you are right. You are right. I agree because he is undersized. He is playing in a new league. But what I'm saying is, from my opinion, he's had success with wide receivers, with the top wide receivers. They go in first round. They having success in the NFL, and he's had success with bums. Well, not even bums, but he's had
What
success
what?
with
Hold on. What
last
bum he
year.
played with? What bum he played with?
Alabama last year, there was a drop off, bro. You
Because the
throwing the
receiver got hurt.
Waddle
You gotta
and
think about it.
Smith.
The year before him, when he made his name, he had the Blitnikov winner,
Yes, they had
as in
dogs.
the
They had
number
dogs.
one receiver in college football,
Yes, I
Devontae Smith,
agree.
and he
I
went to
agree.
Philly, and Philly went to the Super Bowl.
I agree. But what I'm saying
Like
is,
he never played with bum. He never played with bum.
they
Tua
weren't
never
bums.
played with bum.
They weren't bums. And but
Jalen
again,
Hurts never played with bum.
Jalen Hurts played with
Like
bums. At Oklahoma,
look, Alabama, as much as people don't want to respect it and recognize it, Alabama kept great receivers for the past decade. Past the decade.
but all right. So let me ask you this.
Julio came out there. Then after Julio came, what's that boy name?
Cooper.
Amari Cooper.
Yeah,
Amari
Amari
Cooper.
Cooper tore it up.
All right. So then after Cooper, then
They had
who came out after?
After Cooper, they had the boy from Miami. They had
Jalen
Who?
Waddle.
Jalen
Waddle.
Waddle, and then after that they had Devontae Smith,
but
who
but
won
but
the Blitnikov
but
Award
I would stop
as
you.
the number one receiver in the league.
Are those wide
Like,
receivers to Cincinnati standards? Are those wide receivers as good as Cincinnati's wide receivers? And that's all I'm saying is that
Are they as good as Chase?
no, what Chase?
No, I'm saying,
no,
you were just saying, are they on Cincinnati receivers?
no.
Level?
Cincinnati, the college.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
no,
about
yeah,
Bearcat.
that's what I'm saying. No, again, Desmond Ritter's wide receivers, and that's all I'm saying. That's why he has to go a level over Desmond Ritter off default because he has proven
But
that it don't really matter. It don't really matter. I'm gonna make magic. It don't
okay,
matter. So that's what
okay.
I'm
Let
saying.
let me
I'm
read.
I'm I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Desmond Ritter
Hold on
never
a second.
had no.
Hold on, Winston. Hold on. So let me
Go ahead,
reiterate
Ty.
your list with you. You got number 4. You got Ritter. Number 3, I think you had Baker. Number 2, you had Bryce.
Right.
And number 1, you had Derek.
Again, it hurts to put Baker over Desmond as a fan, but I'm just saying, like, Baker has been in different situations, and Baker, he still got Mike, right? He still
Yeah.
got he still got
To
Godwin.
be honest,
He
Baker
still got Byron
Baker has
Leftwich.
the best receiving core in the NFC South.
Okay, let me drop my list real quick, y'all. Let me drop my list. All right. I'm gonna do like Mark did. I'm gonna go 4 through 1. I'm gonna go 4. I'm gonna go Baker Mayfield.
Mm.
I'm gonna go 3. I'm gonna go Desmond Ritter. I'm gonna go
James,
2. I'm gonna go Bryce Young. I'm gonna go 1. Of course, that's gonna be Derek Carr. Now, as far as Bryce and Derek goes, I'm a little bit on Mark's side. When you go third round, the first round, I know Ritter got 4 game experience, but Bryce Young that was a different kind of cat in college, and we don't know if that's gonna translate to the league. But from the
Right.
eye test, I think that little joker gonna be something special, man. So that's my list.
I put it to
Again,
you like
Bryce,
Bryce Young. Give him about 2 years, 2 years to actually figure it out and fill out the game. Bryce Young is going to be a problem
it
unless
gotta
he
be
get hurt. Unless he
right.
get hurt like Tua, which is highly possible. It, you got to think about it. Bryce Young is smaller than Kyler Murray. Kyler
Mm,
Murray was the smallest quarterback in the league. Bryce
mm.
Young is significantly smaller than Kyler Murray. So if he doesn't get hurt, it's going to be an issue. It's going to be an issue for the NFC. That's like, to be honest, when we made a trade for Jeff Okuda, it wasn't about the rest of the league. It was about what's coming into our division and what we got to match up with. You got to think about it. Like, all right, Tampa Bay literally have the best receiving core in our division, hands down. I don't care how whatever
New,
anybody want to say.
New
I'm a
Orleans got
Falcon
a little
fan
something,
through and
something.
through. New Orleans
New,
got a squad, but they do not have the best receiving core.
Tampa
Go,
got the best one
go
though.
ahead, Jimmy.
You got to think
yeah.
about it. You got Mike Evans, Chris
Chris God,
Godwin, and Russell Gage.
Mm.
That's their top 3.
But New Orleans got a rookie again. That I think that's
What rookie?
no.
What
They
rookie
got
they
the
got?
boy
I want to
Chris.
say it's A.T. Perry is gonna be on their team.
Who?
But
Oh,
A.T.
they got
Perry.
18.
but
That's even worse. like I'm be honest with you. That's even worse.
but I'm just speaking on the idea that okay, now Chris Olave, whatever, the boy from Ohio State, even
Olave.
us at the same time, even Drake London, because people in camp saying Drake London better take the next step. That's the exciting thing about the NFL. Sometimes these motherfuckers, especially at wide receiver, they get comfortable. And that's the cool thing about Drake London. And that was the unfortunate thing about Kyle Pitts, is because it's like, all right, you all had a year experience. What you got to do now as a wide receiver because the ball is coming your way. And Drake London, same thing with Chris Olave. I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly.
Olave.
Olave. These boys could go crazy. These boys could. Damn, we don't lost the host, but these boys could go crazy.
He'd be back.
So,
Yep. Go ahead.
so that's all I'm saying when we look at the Saints receiving core. Even ours, though, is credit to ours. But like I said, we need Desmond Ritter, we need the defense, but we also need Drake London to take that next step to really win the division. And Drake London, the thing about Drake London that's interesting about him is when he get that ball in his hands, he different. He trying to truck linebackers. So, like, he could really be our Anquan Bolden. He could really be this unique, elite wide receiver. I mean, I would hope he would be because he was drafted 8th. But and then you add Kyle Pitts, you add Bijan. So Desmond Ritter could end up being number 1 in the division. But you need this.
Let me ask you this. Where was Anquan Bolden best at? Was he best at the number 1 or best at the number 2?
Anquan?
He was best as a number 2, if I remember right, because
he was best as a number 3. He was best as a number 3.
Case in point. So, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love London. Anquan Bolden. His best years was with Arizona when he was number 2 to Larry Fitzgerald.
True.
Right.
That was his best year. All right, so London has all the potential in the world. Don't get me wrong, and I truly see that he's a number 1 receiver, but he don't have a running mate.
Right.
It was supposed to be
there's nobody in this receiver core that anybody is worried about.
Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. Think about it. If Kyle Pitts runs straight on the field, if Kyle Pitts runs straight on the field, then what do you have? You got a linebacker and a safety sitting over top of it.
Right. That's big.
All right. So what I can do on defense, I could just roll the other safety over towards London.
I'm gonna tell you why that may not work though. And true. I've been saying this.
It may not.
That's big.
I wouldn't sleep on Jonnu Smith this season because he's gonna deflect so much attention away from Kyle Pitts and Drake London that's gonna open up a lot of stuff.
If Jonnu has less than 6 touchdowns, if he had less than 6 touchdowns this season, I'd be highly upset.
Who?
Highly upset.
Who?
I'm telling you, Jonnu Smith.
Oh
no, Jonnu Smith. Look, if Jonnu have less than 6 touchdowns this season, I'd be highly upset. And if anybody don't know who Jonnu Smith is,
go look at his highlights from Tennessee.
Yeah, do yourself a favor. Go see him in Tennessee. I'm telling you, the boy, he an issue. He a whole issue on the field.
But to me, 6 touchdowns is fair. 6 touchdowns is good because you got Bijan, you got CP, you got Tyler. They taking on touchdowns. Then you got Drake. Drake gonna get in the end zone. Kyle taking up touchdowns. So to me,
I wouldn't be upset if
Kyle got what? 3 touchdowns? Kyle got 3 touchdowns in 2 seasons.
Okay,
yeah, let me ask y'all. Kyle got 3 touchdowns in 2 seasons.
Let me ask y'all.
Don't get me wrong.
Let me ask the panel. Let me ask the panel a real quick question since we talking about stats. I've been wanting to ask y'all this all night. I'm gonna give everybody a player. Stat line. I'm gonna start with you, Jimmy. Stat line. Jimmy, give me and be realistic. Take out the Falcon shades.
Okay.
Stat line. Give me Bijan Robinson stat line for 2023.
Woo!
Whew.
Oh,
I knew you was gonna ask
Oh
me
my
that.
goodness.
oh,
So honestly, I think Bijan will have 130 carries. That's realistic.
wow.
Uh,
You gonna have more than that.
I mean,
Right.
minimum, I think 130. I think rushing
Okay.
yard wise, he's not gonna quite hit 1,000. I think he goes 860 to 870 because of the carry split. He's gonna really make his impact receiving, which I honestly think he's gonna have close to 600 yards receiving.
Ooh,
Touchdown
1,400.
wise, I think he's gonna at
Wow.
least get 10 to 11, and that's combined rushing and catching.
Hold on, so
Okay.
Jimmy, you telling me my rookie, who I wasn't sure about the draft pick, you telling me my rookie is gonna give me 1,400 all-purpose yards and double-digit touchdowns?
Yep, I think he can.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, Winston, you on the clock. Stat line.
All right.
Take off the Falcon shades. Throw him in the trash right now for about 30 seconds. Stat line. Give me Desmond Ritter's stat line this year.
Desmond Ritter.
Ooh, hey, this one just as hard.
Everything fare out the way it should. You got Desmond Ritter going for 3,200
Damn.
3,200 yards. Watch. Well, no. Matter of fact, I'm gonna knock a little bit off that. 3,100 yards.
Yikes.
Desmond Ritter gonna have about 500 yards rushing. 24 passing touchdown. But the biggest thing is, with that 24, he's gonna have about 15 interceptions.
Wow.
He's gonna have about 7 rushing touchdowns.
Hold on now. You say 32. Did I get you right? 3,200 passing,
3,100 passing,
500
6
rushing.
500 rushing.
How many touchdowns again?
24 passing touchdowns.
And how many
24
interceptions? One more time.
15. 15 interception, 7 rushing.
Wow. That's interesting.
Wow.
Okay, Mark. Stat line. Take off the Falcon shades now. Take off the
Right.
Falcon shades. Take off the Falcon stat line. Give me my unicorn Kyle Pitts stat line 2023.
Ooh.
Hey, I'm gonna say first and foremost, these three stat lines is tough, bro. It's tough because every player kind of depends on every other player. So if Bijan doing what he doing according to Jamie, then that impacts Kyle and that impacts Desmond. But wow, okay. So I know this may be a reach, but can you give me Kyle Pitts stats for 2020 or maybe 2021 with Matt Ryan?
Yeah, he had right at about 1,500 passing yards. I think he had roughly around 63 receptions and 1 touchdown. I'm pretty close on that. It ain't exact, but it's
Yeah,
close.
yeah.
Okay. Whew, man.
Pretty much spot on.
And I feel like mine's is the toughest because I don't know when he even expected to come back and play.
Well, Arthur Smith said he'll be ready at training camp.
Yeah, he'd be ready for training camp.
Training camp? Okay. So that means you. Okay, so that's perfect. Oh, okay. So in Kyle and Arthur Smith's offense, I'm expecting 60 catches again. I'm gonna give you 1,200. You know, I'm gonna give you 1,000. You
Smart,
know,
right?
you got the extra game. You know, you damn near wide receiver one, damn near, especially for a young quarterback. Even though Desmond got a connection with London, damn, should I say 1,200? He's that good. So all right. So this is my thought process. All right. So let me give you the stats, and I'll give you my thought process.
Go ahead.
60, 1,200, and 8 touchdowns. And my thought process is Arthur Smith got to figure out how to justify these picks. So he gonna force feed Bijan. He gonna force feed London. He gonna force feed Kyle. And there's definitely enough snaps for 1,200 because did someone have London? Or no, you had Bijan and you had Desmond.
Bijan and Desmond.
Damn.
Let me readjust mine. I'm going 31. My bad. 3100.
31?
3,100.
All right.
3100.
So for the sake of this panel, Kyle Pitts ain't gonna have half of. Well, I said 1,200, but he ain't gonna have half of Desmond Ritter's passing yards. If anyone was gonna have,
He most definitely will.
no, he should. I agree, he should. But if anyone's gonna have a third of Desmond Ritter's passing yards, it's gonna be London. It's gonna be London because he's already built that rapport. He ain't coming off injury. Like, to me, that's a safer bet. Can Kyle do it? Absolutely. But my point is, for Kyle to have a 1,200 yard, that means one of y'all is wrong. That means Desmond gonna have 4,000 yards, bro.
I don't
Me
think
neither.
he'll get 4,000.
I don't see him doing 4,000 this year.
Me neither.
Maybe next year.
I don't think they're gonna trust him with the
Maybe.
ball that much.
So all right.
Yeah.
So to say,
But do this for me, Mark. Don't base your answer off the other panel's answers, though. Just tell me
Right.
what you think he's gonna get.
Hey, Mark, look. The best way to look at it, look at Seattle with Russell Wilson.
I mean, he didn't have
Back
Kyle
at when he was a rookie. He was around 30, 31, 32,000. I mean 3,200 with a monster running game behind him.
Man, again, like right. I really wish I would have got Drake London because he's healthy, he's had a rapport with Desmond. But I feel like knowing Arthur Smith, he a Gemini, he want to look like a fucking genius and shit.
Then he said he a Gemini.
He a Gemini, so he want to look like a genius.
Bro, it's too late in the night for that.
So all I'm saying is he drafted him 4th. And last year he looked dumb as hell because Kyle Pitts was leaving games with 6 targets, 2 catches, 60 yards, if that.
But can you blame that on him?
Hold on, go ahead and answer. Go ahead and answer your question, though. Go ahead, answer your stats.
Yeah, well, to answer the stats, like I said, I'm gonna give him 60. I'm gonna give him 1,000. Just for the sake of the show, I'm gonna give him 1,000, 60, 1,000, 8 touchdowns.
So Kyle Pitts, 60 catches, 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns.
In the run first offense, I'll take that.
Okay, I got one more for y'all. Stat line. We're gonna go in reverse order this time. So that means Mark, you right back on the clock again, and you're in the hot seat. Stat line. Remember, take off the Falcon shades.
Right.
Take off the Falcon shades. Stat line. Mark, 2023. Give me the stat line of my 5th round host, Tyler Asgier, who y'all done forgot about.
Woo! Wow. That's a great question. And I appreciate being on the hot seat because he gonna fall off. He gonna fall off, Tidy.
Don't say that.
Give him 600. I think his biggest attribute for the season will be he will score. He will score touchdowns. And unfortunately, this isn't a statistic that people don't hang on, but I think he will get us a lot of first downs. So I think he will lead our team in first downs. But give me 600 and give me 8 again. Give me 8 touchdowns. 600 yards, 800. As far as receiving, come on, let's not even go there. Bijan gonna take all those snaps. CP gonna take all those snaps. He gonna get his touches because he's a very valuable receiving back, whether people want to accept it or not. But give me 600, he gonna fall off because we just invested. Just like me and you said, Tidy. I like the player. I like Bijan, but I don't like him at 8. So you know what that means? Arthur about to run this motherfucker into the ground, and he gonna try to justify him picking him 8th. So again, give me 600, give me 8 touchdowns, and give me one of the top players in the league to get first downs.
Okay, so you got my 5th round house. You got him 600 rushing yards. You got him 8 touchdowns.
I hate to say it. I hate to say it.
It makes sense. All right, stat line. Winston, hot seat. Take off the Falcon shades. Take off the Falcon shades. Stat line. 2023 stat line. Give me my Swiss Army knife who you tried to trade. Ooh. Cordero Patterson stat line 2023.
That's tough, bro.
It ain't. Look, before I get that take, can you click back? Ray Allison had a great stat line for Ritter.
3,400 passing yards, 25 TDs, 10 interceptions, 300 rush yards. Yeah, that sounds very realistic.
Yeah, that sounds beautiful. So for Cordero Patterson, I got him about 60 catches. No. About 54 catches. No, 60 catches. 62 catches.
Wow.
62 catches for 680 yards, 3 touchdowns, 100, 102, 105 carries for 400 and 464 yards, 8 touchdowns.
So if I followed you correctly, you got CP another 1,000-yard all-purpose season and about double-digit touchdowns.
When all add up,
I love it. Hey, we get that, boy. We gonna win at least 10 games.
Man,
all right,
definitely.
Jimmy.
Yes, sir.
Stat line. Take off the Falcon shade. Stat line. Give me Mr. Hotline Bling, the Champagne Poppy, Drake London stat line.
Yes, I was hoping I got Drake London. All right, so
I'm locked in.
Drake London. Let me actually look and see how my boy did this year, because this is gonna shock y'all when I give y'all these numbers, because this is gonna be one of those. Oh my God, can he get there? Right. So, season 1, Drake London had 72 receptions, for 866 yards and 4 touchdowns. So, for Drake London, I am predicting he is going to actually be number 2 in the entire NFL in total receptions. I'm going to say Drake London gets about 120 receptions this year. And I'm going to tell you why I say that number.
I said Drake, not Julio Jones in his prime now.
I'm going to tell you why.
120?
If you look at how Desmond was force-feeding him the ball at the very end of the season,
right?
I think 120 isn't out of the question with the extra game. I think receiving yard-wise, he's going to have 1,100 receiving yards, which isn't out of the question, being that he had 866 this year.
That many
and receiving
catches?
touchdown-wise, I say he can get 6. I won't go too high on the receiving touchdowns. I'm going to give him 2 extra ones, but I honestly believe you're going to see his receptions jump up a lot because, again, he's going to be your most consistent receiver out of that whole entire group. You're not going to see Mac Hollins get the ball. Those guys are going to be there to just basically run block. Drake is going to be your pass catcher in that offense. It's not far-fetched.
So,
wow.
You telling me my multi-platinum wide receiver, Champagne Papa, Drake London, going to give me 120 receptions?
I think he can get 120.
1,100 touchdowns, 1,100 yards.
1,100.
6 touchdowns.
6.
Ooh, we'll have a great season, man.
I got him with the 1,100 yards. I think that's easy physical, but I don't see the 120 reception. I don't see that.
Yeah, that's a lot of catches, bro.
Low end, I'm going to give him right at roughly 90. But I honestly think he could get to 90.
Yeah.
I got him around like 95.
Yeah, like
90. I got him around 95.
Ooh, I think even the 90s is
again,
kind of
it's a run first offense. So basically, what you telling me when you say 120 is it's either we running,
we're throwing to London, and it's like damn, like
no, because you
that's a lot.
Like Drake had like
it's possible.
He had 77 reception last year.
That's 7 catches a game.
You see what I'm saying? So it's very easy for him to hit 90-something reception.
But we got
very easy for him to do that.
We got to keep in mind the vast majority of those catches came the last 4 games when his tag team partner Ritter came in, and also without Kyle Pitts.
Exactly.
So we're not hoping this year that Kyle Pitts is hurt.
You got to look at it like this. All right, so Kyle Pitts, as much as everybody hyping up the Scotty Miller addition, which is beautiful, but at the same time, Scotty Miller is not going to be the deep threat. Kyle Pitts is the deep threat. Kyle Pitts is the deep threat. Always has been.
Right.
So I'm going to amend that. I'll say, like I said, looking at it, I'll even go low end. Low end, I say 80 receptions isn't even out of the question because even if you look last year with 72, 80 isn't far-fetched even with this offense, but I still think he can get 1,100 yards easily. 1,100 is not going to be far-fetched.
It's so interesting because we added the Scotty, we added the Bijan, so those are targets that's going away from him.
That's going away.
The design of the offense, like it has nothing to do with his talent. So it's like I feel like the 72. Can you say it was 72 last year?
He had 72 last year.
72, yeah.
I thought that 72 was really because of the not necessarily the desperation of the offense, but it was almost like fuck it, like fuck it, like let's just throw it, like let's throw it his way. So it's like I feel like he can still be productive. I feel like the yards is on the money, touchdowns is on the money, but I think the targets and the receptions is ridiculous because it's like if he catching that, bro, we gonna be okay. Like we gonna be a good team.
Gonna be like the Rams the year they won a Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying.
Look at it like this, right? So when Ritter came in, Pitts was already out.
Right.
And to be honest, our number one receiver was Alameda Zacchaeus.
No, he was not.
No.
Bro,
He was never
look.
He was the third down guy.
Hey, look.
True.
Mariota was going to Zacchaeus way more than he was going to London.
I don't know
He
about that.
was.
Hey, man, watch the game. Zacchaeus was getting off more than London was. Why? Because I don't know what it was, but Mariota and Zacchaeus figured that out. So when Mariota came out, London became number one. Everybody forgot all about Zacchaeus. Ritter forgot all about that man. He forgot that he was even out there. So I'm being honest. Watch the game. So for London to hit 90 something catches, that's not far. It can happen very easily. And Kyle Pitts come in around 75, 80 catches. And both of them have 1,000 yards. But the biggest thing is Bijan.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. That's gonna unlock the whole offense.
And I feel like that's why like the statistic question is such a dope question, and it's so intriguing because it's like we had such an unknown. We had the unknown of Desmond Ritter, then we had the unknown of Bijan. And if we know, I think we all respect our opinions on sports and our offense. We don't know what that means because Bijan could take 50 targets away.
Yeah, and Jono Smith.
Jono Smith could take.
Jono
Smith could take 50 targets away. So it's like it's less about us being right. It's about more of us projecting off our offense. It's really just like, whoa. Arthur Smith, Terry Fournette, whatever his name is. they created an opportunity to take advantage of this unknown, and it's about Arthur Smith got to get out his own way because I don't understand how the fuck Kyle Pitts was not utilized. Like I thought he was overthought it. He overthought.
I think so too. I think sometimes I look at it like this. Sometimes if you ever bought a car, you kind of already got an idea of what you want for you to get to the car lot. But to me, Arthur Smith, that draft, it was like the guy who already knew what he really wanted, but got to the car lot and let the salesman sell him something else. That's how I feel like about that draft pick. But we got one more question, y'all. Then we're gonna get out of here. We already over 3 hours, so we gotta wrap this up. I got one more question. And shout out to everybody that's in the comment section holding it down. The Waffle House crew, straight Waffle House crew.
Waffle House crew.
Waffle House crew. This is the last question, y'all. Then we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna go around the panel. Again, take the Falcon shades off. Who we start off with last time? Mark. So Winston, you're gonna be on the clock first this time.
All right.
I want you to give me now, no explanations. Just your answer with no explanation. 1 through 4, NFC South. 1 through 4. Give me every team's record.
Wow.
Atlanta Falcons. At 11-6. the Aints at 8 and 9. Carolina at 7 and 10. Tampa Bay at 7 and 10.
So Falcons win the division. New Orleans come in second, and the Kittens and the Bucks they're tied for last.
Yeah.
All right, gotcha. I love it. I hope you're right.
I
Jimmy,
love that.
you on the clock, brother. Take the Falcon shades off. Every team's record 1 through 4. No explanations.
All right. So I've been saying this. I feel the Falcons will win the division at. I'm gonna give them 12-5. I think that's attainable.
All right. Okay. Okay.
Rise
I
up.
give
That man ate
Carolina.
the Wheaties today.
I give Carolina 8 and 9. New Orleans, I give them 6 and 11, and Tampa Bay, I think they finish 5 and 12.
Wow.
So, Falcons, Carolina,
Falcons, then Carolina,
New Orleans,
then New Orleans, then
Tampa.
Tampa.
All right. Hey, Mark, take us home, my brother.
Hey, Toddy. Hey, you already know. I'm somewhat of a rebel, so I'm gonna ask you a question. Can you give me the record of our division of last year?
The Falcons record?
No, just like the NFC South.
How we fared against what other teams? Or explain.
Just the NFC South record. Like
Against the
the
rest of
time.
the NFL?
Tampa was what 9 and 8. Tampa was 9 and 8.
Because I mean, I'm gonna get right to it. I think my point is, what we saw last year is gonna be the exact same thing we see this year. It's gonna be very tight. It's gonna be very tight. One team's gonna win the division because they win an extra division game, but it's hard for me to try to get specific because I don't know the Saints record. I mean, I don't know the Saints schedule. I don't know the Carolina schedule. I don't know Tampa schedule. So I think it'll be ignorant.
The Saints have the second easiest schedule. We had the easiest schedule.
I mean, I get that, but I'm saying, like, I guess, all right, so if I had to guess, I'm saying the Falcons are what, 11-6? Is that, no, 11-7 or 11-6?
11-6. 11-6.
Falcons are 11-6.
18 game with a bad.
Right. Saints are 10-6, 10-5.
No, they gotta be 10-7.
10-7. But again, regardless of what I wanna say, y'all get where I'm going with it. I think it's gonna be very tight. It's gonna be a difference between 1 or 2 games throughout the division, even with Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay is gonna be 4th, but regardless, it's like they're not gonna be that far off because they have opportunities. Like Baker Mayfield is solid. He should be just as solid as Desmond Ridder. And what I'm saying is, you got an organization that won things. You got a good wide receiver core. You got solid pieces there. You shouldn't be that far from the Falcons, but again,
everybody should be that far from the Falcons, man.
But
everyone, we should be number 1 in the league.
I agree, and that's a dope thing about NFL football because it's really a week-to-week thing, and I think the Falcons have a unique opportunity to where each week we can win, and if we focus on each week, we beat
It's at the end, right?
The defense. Lisa saying no one was over 500 last year. That's what I'm saying. We have a unique opportunity to win every other game then once we get to the division, it's up to like the team that can really win, like the team that's gonna. I don't want to say lucky, but a lot of the game is dependent on the turnover. The turnover differential, and that's what I'm saying. Like the Falcons have a unique year. We have a unique year as Falcons fans, and
Mark, they
as
saying you
real.
drunk, Mark. They in the comments saying you drunk.
He's
No.
not.
Hey, look.
Hey, I'm lit. I'm lit. I'm lit.
Hey, look. Hey, look. Hey, look.
I'm lit.
Am I the only one? Am I the only one that took pride in our division having back-to-back team to go to the Super Bowl? Now,
What?
even though I hate the Panthers. I hate the Panthers. I
Wait,
hate the Saints. I hate
Eagles went
Tampa
to
Bay.
the Super Bowl.
No.
Right.
I'm talking about 2015 to 2016. The
Oh,
Panthers went to the Super Bowl, and then we went the following season. I took pride in that because I
so James.
took pride in that because like it was like you came from the grind. You had to grind it out. You know what I'm saying, to get there. But
Mark, they saying you drunk.
after that,
I'm lit.
the
I'm lit.
whole
No debate. Lit.
division just fell out.
Oh.
Besides the Saints and their defense.
I mean,
And to be honest,
go
last
ahead,
year
Jamie.
people forget our entire division last year played the toughest schedule out of everybody else. So that's why you
Wait,
saw our division look the way it did. This
the
season
Falcons
coming,
did though. The Falcons.
yes, even we did, because you have to
Yeah,
look.
we had like the third
We
hardest
went
schedule.
through the AF.
cap.
Look, if you
That's
look
No,
at
cap.
it,
we had like the third hardest schedule last
we
last
played
season.
the
Cap.
AFC
That's
North.
cap. I don't know that shit, but that's cap. We played
Bro, like
bum
we
last 8 games.
no. We legit had like the third hardest
That's
schedule
cap.
last year.
We
Tidy.
legit did.
That's not cap.
Tidy. Is that
I'm
cap
trying
or
to look.
not?
I'm trying to look it up now.
Thank you. Because that's cap, bro. No, we did not have no tough
On paper,
nothing.
on paper
No,
before the season, we had like the third hardest schedule.
Before the season,
No, we did not.
Before
Stop
the season,
lying.
yes, we did,
Bro,
bro.
we played
I'm
bum.
telling you,
We played
Okay.
bum.
it's
Okay.
not about
All right, hold on.
when they
Hold on.
sit there
I got.
and put
Wait a
in
minute.
your
I
schedule
got it.
strength.
I got it in front
It's
of me
about
right
what
now.
the team did
That's
beforehand.
cap, bro.
Hold on, just
The
a
year
second, y'all.
beforehand.
Sorry. I'm lit.
Just a
I'm
moment.
lit,
Just
but
a
that's
moment.
cap.
Just a second. Now we saying before the season, right?
Before the season.
Okay, here go the list. Rams, number 1. Cardinals, Bengals, Buccaneers, 49ers, Chiefs, Raiders, Aints, Falcons, Chargers, Seahawks,
That
Steelers,
before the season?
Panthers, Bills, Broncos. That's top 15.
Before the season.
Before the season. This article was published on May 11th, 2022.
All right, so we had what, the 6th, 7th
9th, I believe.
hardest schedule
9th.
out of 32 teams.
Out of 32 teams. Our strength of schedule was
Before the
winning
season.
percentage of 52.
So see, all right, so now you see how it flips. And now we have the easiest schedule this year. And the Saints is number 2.
I mean, regardless, I guess my
They
point
they
was,
they keep us close.
I mean, that's fair. But all I'm saying is, from my experience as a Falcons fan, we did not have no tough schedule. Like, the hardest game I could think of in my top of my head was San Diego. Yeah, no. Cincinnati was the toughest team we played the whole season. But I'm talking about after that was San Diego with Justin Herbert. And we should have won that game.
That have nothing to do with your strength of schedule. Your strength of schedule is off of what the team did the season before.
Right. So I would love to hear what
they do is they huh?
No, I'm just saying I would love to hear what our strength of schedule was at the end of the season. And then me, I don't know the other teams' schedules and teams and all that, but we had one of the easiest schedules. The last 4 or 5 games, we played bums. We played bums. Teams that weren't even concerned with winning. So I don't see a world. And then we played in the worst position. We played in the worst division in football, and we finished fourth.
the way we were playing, we weren't concerned with winning.
We
dropped
we
the
were
ball.
concerned with winning. And you know why we were concerned with winning? Because we had Marcus Mariota as our starting quarterback.
Hey, bro, look. Let me drive this on you. If we scored 22 points, our last 4 games, we would have went 4-0.
But we didn't, because we were just as sorry as our opponents.
Were we though?
Is there something? Is there something to hang your hat on?
No,
like
no, that's my point.
If
Kelly just
you gotta look at it like this. If you
look at
want,
Kelly coming.
if you want this team, if this team wants to be nationally recognized as a great team, you got to do things that great teams do. If we scored 22 points over our last 4 games, we would have went 4-0 and been in the playoff.
All right,
Exactly.
here's an honest. Here's
We would have won the
the
division.
Kelly
We would have won the
says,
division.
all right, let me read this comment real quick. Kelly says we played a Baltimore team, no Lamar,
Should have won that.
no quarterback, no New Orleans, no quarterback, Arizona, quarterback.
Come on.
And we beat Arizona by what? 1 point?
Thank you, brother.
We beat Arizona by 1 point?
Right at the end of the game.
And all we needed to do was score 22 points over the last 4 games. 22 points.
All right, let me say this. Hold on, let me say this real quick.
As much as people sit there and talk about our defense, our defense held it down.
Winston. Let me say this real quick. Because I hear a lot of times as Falcons fans, we say we had so many 1-score games. Now, here's some reality. The average win margin in the NFL is below 5 points. So the vast majority of NFL games are won by less than 1 score. That's just perspective. Like when NFL teams win, they're not winning by 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 points. They're winning from somewhere between 2 to 5 points on average. So when you lose a lot of 1-score games, a lot of times you're probably not a real good team. Because you're right there with the norm.
4, 5, 6.
I put it to you like this. Minnesota won what, like 11 1-score games last season, and that was cap.
We had 8 games.
That was cap.
We lost by 1 score. That if we would have won those 8, puts us in the playoffs.
Hey Jimmy, why you got it looked up? Look at it. The last 4 games, if we scored 22 points, but we now won all 4 of them.
Yep, because Baltimore, all we needed was 20 points. New Orleans, we needed 22 points. Pittsburgh, 20. Washington, 20. We literally were shooting ourselves in the foot.
Our defense, as much as we sit there and talk about our defense did their part. Our offense didn't hold up their end of the bargain.
And I agree. And like that's all I'm saying when you look at the grand scheme of it all. We have an offensive coordinator as head coach. So it's like the points thing don't move me, because it's like we hired you to score. We hired you to score. So if you can't score,
I'm gonna be honest. I never take any solace when somebody say we lost so many games by 1 point or one score.
Yeah,
Like you lost.
at all. At all,
lost.
we lost.
We lost.
So I supposed to be happy with you whipping my ass, but I punched you a couple times in between. No,
Right.
no,
Still
no,
lost.
no,
Hey,
no.
but check this out, fellas. I gotta get us out of here, man. We are on almost 3.5 hours. Waffle House crew is in the building. Before we get out of here, y'all, let's thank everybody who stuck in the comment and the chat with us, holding it down with us. We definitely appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. Also, all the drunks like us up here on the panel, or some of us on here on the panel. All the stoners out there, you know, who rolling up and going back to back. We appreciate it, man. We'll be back for another late night episode. Who knows? But this is the Waffle House crew. So we'll be back with some smothered patty melts and waffles on some butter. But we out of here, man. I want to thank everybody who came on the panel. I want to thank Winston. I want to thank Jimmy. And also I want to thank Mark, man. I appreciate y'all. We'll do it again soon, man. I promise.
No problem.
Peace out, y'all. Y'all have a good night and have a good holiday. I'm out.